Did it do it? Looks like it's good to go. Okay. Still getting a little bit set up, but we are getting there. Oh yeah. Probably going to be doing 2 weeks of stars this week because we have things happening following. But here I am. Hello. Still doing it. Here I am. And I'm on time and everything. Me, of all people. Truly, I should be an inspiration to you all. I'm so on time, I'm the only one here right now. Hell yeah. We're doing science. I would love to make this chart smaller so that I could show this on the screen better. And like make it work day by day. Yeah, well, yeah, but maybe this would work. Hang on, how would I? Nope, now I've just got this lost. I swear I know how to use a computer. My family even comes to me for troubleshooting. I told them to stop. I'm not the person for that any longer. However, they persist. And I tell them they are making a fool's mistake. Every single time. But here we are. We are doing science on the Twitch side because Miss May hit affiliate. And we didn't realize that comes with ads. And now we realize. Okay, let's see what I got.
I was like, is there a rumor?
You hear a rumor about? Oh yeah.
Google.
That was Charlie, wasn't it?
Oh.
Did we do screen capture?
Yes. Go down to the bottom.
Okay.
Come over. And then down at the bottom of that one.
Window capture?
Window capture, yeah.
Ah, very clever. Look at me go. No, I'm still on a black screen for whatever reason. But I did do that much.
Oh, it's because you have fixed the window.
Oh. Okay. I mean, I reckon I can make it bigger, but it won't really work that way. It's alright, it is 10 a.m., so we just got kicked off on the day. So we are currently doing our best. How are you doing today, Sen? How's the afternoon been? Early afternoon? How was your morning? I don't know. I'm gonna have a black screen right now. We're gonna talk about stars while I have a black screen.
The red outlining box?
Yes, I know that, but then I can start cutting off the... I can center it. I'll make this look deliberate. How's that? Yeah, let's do it. Well, deliberate enough. The day is going okay. It is a day. We are going to go over 2 weeks of stars. So I've been working hard on this since last night. I have a friend coming into town with her mom next Saturday. So we have obligations. Now if I do this, is this gonna... Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. Cool. But the day's going okay. So far, so good. Last night we went to a friend's house and watched the women's U.S. team versus the women's U.S. Japan team for a soccer game. I tend to cheer for Japan in these times, but they at least made the board. It was 2-1, Japan lost, but they made the board, and apparently that was the first time they had hit it, like, how did they phrase it? The U.S. women's team, like, the little bar at the top was like, they have allowed a goal for the first time in 9 games, and it's like, yes, they deigned to accept this 1 point that was taken from them. So, you're not great, but this is a good distraction. Well, how are my potatoes? Are they doing okay at least? Let's do a potato check. I need you to be doing better, but I'll take it what I got. We might also have bring your own background music.
Yes.
That's fine. May I recommend 1 hour of... Oh, hey, Dream. It's not too terribly complicated. I'll walk you through it. One little baby steps I just like to share so you can see what I'm looking at. We're just kind of catching up and warming up right now, though. So how are you doing? I've got Sin on the YouTube side, hopefully telling me about her kittens and or other things. So let's see. The potatoes are more and more rowdy. So the kittens are the potatoes because they're about, what, 3-4 weeks now? 2.5? They might just be hitting 3. And they are little tubby potatoes. But no, don't worry about it being too complicated. I'm trying to tidy your craft room. Very good. That is a good thing. What craft are we working towards having the room tidied over? Let's talk about that. And while we were talking about it, I said, let's find some bring your own background music. I recently found creature mixes. It's like, they're titled like 1 hour of bug music, 1 hour of crab music, 1 hour of, I think, bat music, things like that. Those are fun. There's also a no AI axolotl lo-fi radio station that is available. Should you also choose those lo-fi for ghosts is always a good option. Just need everything organized before I get swamped at it. Yeah, that's a huge mood. So like I was telling Sin earlier, we're gonna go through 2 weeks. I've got a friend coming into town this Saturday, so I won't be able to do the stream on Sunday like I normally do. And of course, it's 2 of the like busiest weeks in the stars for the year. But so I've been working on this since last night. Still wish I had had more time to write things, but we'll get going. So this is right now. At present, this is where all the stars are. We have this here, hot mess in Aries, and it continues to get hotter, but it's okay. Like the video, please. It does help more than you think. Yes, for the YouTube side, it does help. And for the Twitch side, we are sorry about the ad that you may have gotten right at the beginning. Miss May here just made affiliate yesterday, so we're trying to figure things out from there. So, today, what is it? There's nothing major that hasn't already been happening. So we have this here little sextile between Jupiter and Venus. This continues. You will feel this for a few days, honestly. Hot mess. It's a hot mess affectionately. I do love it. Am I back? Okay. Very good. Knocked the wire thing. As I was saying though, Dream, hot mess affectionately. I like the Gunko. I just do not have it, and so I get a little jealous sometimes, probably. Honestly.
Like the way the outlet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. we will definitely talk about that. No, it's very good. I love a go-getter. Good source of inspiration. Wish I could do the same. Anyway, so find your lo-fi music if you are so inclined. Let me know how it is. I would love to hear about what you're hearing. I love a good background music thing. But we have our affectionate hot mess in Aries. How's that? Is that better, Dream? And it's a fire sign. So, we have this building up Jupiter and Venus sextile down here. This is very nice. This is a very sweet little aspect. It goes exact on tomorrow, actually. But it is very nice. So today, nothing that hasn't already been going on. Let me see if I can see anything that I hadn't been noticing before. No. Okay. So let's go take a peek at tomorrow. So this sextile here, this thick blue line that you can see, will be going exact. And what this is a sextile between Venus and Jupiter. Sextiles are one of the positive aspects. It is not as open as a grand trine, or as a trine, not a grand trine. A trine is here. So this long blue line that's connecting Sag to Aries. This is trine. This is like the doors are open. There is no off switch. The floodgates have released. With sextiles, there's at least an off switch. Like, I do love a trine, but sextiles are nice because you don't have to get overwhelmed with too much of a good thing all at once, right? So, with Venus being at home in Taurus and Jupiter being exalted in Cancer, he's pretty happy there. We have a cozy, comfortable little green light that we will be feeling. Like I said, you can feel it today. You can feel it tomorrow when it goes exact. You may still be able to feel it a little bit into Tuesday. It is the cozy green light. It is ready to go for all things related to like simple, comfortable, Taurus themed creature comforts. Let me see what my notes say here. It is, yeah. All things simple and supportive related to love, pleasure, and abundance, and we'll fill it for the days or two around it. It's simple and lucky and fairly straightforward. You just have to, since it is a sextile, you have to tap into it. So, oh, hello. Let me see what it says here. So people will be more receptive to each other. So if you have any ideas, yes, it is very nice. If you have any ideas, this is a really good time to like kind of push that idea forward, let people know about it, what you're thinking. You might be more willing to also practice some self-care, which if you're tidying a craft room, for example, Dream, that is some good self-care to get it set up so that you do not get swamped in it, right? After that, I would celebrate by starting a craft, right? So self-care might come a little bit easier to you. And you can enjoy time with other people without necessarily worrying about where you stand, right? Like, so the example that I read was like, if you're in one of those sticky, gross, ambiguous relationships of are we dating, are we just friends or whatever, just don't worry about it for this little couple of days. Just enjoy the ride, right? Just enjoy the relationship. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So I read, quote, comfort that you can feel in your body. If you need it, because with all of the fire and the air energy that we're starting to get into now, right, it can start burning people out, right? With Aries rules the head. I've been getting more headaches than usual, and that's not even a joke. Take care of yourself, right? Like, this is a good chance to like catch a breather, be purposeful with your self-care, take a nice little bubble bath, whatever you need to do to like purposefully rest, right? And then putting this out into the air now should help it like potentially compound a little bit for the better. At the same time, to add to the dreamy factor, this is a really good couple of days for like, I guess, writing out things that you want to work towards, manifesting, whatever you want to call it. Because with this lovely, dreamy, abundant aspect, we also have Mars and Neptune going pretty exactly conjunct. You can see 2 degrees, 2 degrees. These are in Aries. These are the initiators still. But with this, it's just kind of this conjunction can either be confusing or it can be inspiring, or maybe it can be both. Like, there's always a little bit of both with everything in astrology, right? It's a very active, but it's a very daydreamy feeling. I was kind of getting inattentive ADHD vibes. Like, for, like my personal lived experience, I was like, oh, I know that feeling. Neptune will give you the imagination, and Mars will be probably happy to try to help you filter it into something fun and physical, like painting or some kind of creative painting, dance, things like that. If you're not feeling particularly creative, or if you're just not really the creative type and you're just kind of getting fuzzy and cloudy and confused, it's also a good time to just kind of like go for a run or do something physical with your body to try to get your thoughts in order. Or even if you are the creative type, right? Sometimes everybody gets confused. So it's a good time to just kind of, hey, Steph. It's a good time to kind of like just channel it and put 2 and 2 together and figure out what you're trying to do when things get a little bit hazy, right? Because like Mars is at home, Neptune doesn't really like Aries. Neptune's is water. We have Aries, the fire. I was looking at it as like Neptune kind of tamping back Mars's flame a little bit. The first half of this week is kind of that kind of a feeling of like a step back and not necessarily smell the roses, but like pick your path before we hit this new moon, because this new moon is one of the bigger ones this year. You will get some influence with this conjunction here in the form of artistry. You will have influence, You will have influence in the form of artistry. You will have influence in the form of doing the right thing, doing people a kindness, stepping in to help. People will see that. People will be receptive to it with that conjunction. Now, it's Neptune, so the shadow side of things is to watch out for gaslighting and or being gaslit. But also, the odds are fairly good that anything that's happening right now that might feel gaslighty is out of confusion, not malice. So pick your words, think about what you want to say. If it gets too hazy, find a way to move your body that feels good, however that is for you, to kind of like help that Mars in Aries process and help Neptune find the words, right? So these transits, and then Tuesdays we have like a bit of I don't want to say a final slowdown before all systems are go, because there are going to be other slowdowns in the future, right? But for right now, for these next 2 weeks, this is like a good final slowdown to really sit there, piece together what you want to work towards. Probably between now and like Wednesday. The sextile, this conjunction. If we consider this a superstellium in Aries, speaking of which, Dream, how does it have you feeling if you are an Aries? And like, is it just overdrive, or is it just kind of there? I've been wondering how it's been affecting people with really, really heavy Aries placements. My vertex is just there. Oh no, my lot of fortune, that's it. So I've just been kind of like passively feeling the transits. I don't really have anything directly like conjuncting right there. So I've been wondering what it's been feeling like for people who have significant placements in it. Let's see what it says. So yeah, okay, maybe. I could see that. Yeah, if you're in Aries, you've got a lot going on right now, your sun and everything. Hopefully we're clearing up soon, but we've got a minute before things keep moving on into Taurus and getting out of the way. But right now I've just been like, me personally, since I don't have any really super strong Aries placements, I've just been feeling all of the weight in my 11th house and going, this is unusual. Why do people want me all of a sudden? What's going on? Why am I busy? Anyway, so this week, the first half of the week is like a final slowdown, and like we can call it a bit of a whitewater rafting trip is what I was thinking of for a metaphor. It's like a last chance to choose a direction and or brace yourself for the next big part, aka the Aries full moon that we have coming up on the 17th. You might get some insight during the stillness, so pay attention for any signs, listen to conversations that you might have, write down any ideas or goals or manifestations you may have. And then with this combination specifically on Monday, I was thinking that you could play both of these aspects together and try to have a little bit of fun. So we have Venus and Taurus sextiling Jupiter and Cancer. We have Cancer rules the home and comfy and everything, and Venus is all things love and abundance and such. So I was like, oh, that could be with dreamy Neptune and Mars wanting to do something kind of imaginative. That could be like, what was it that I thought of? Like a blanket fort movie night with some little lights and some comfy pajamas and some snacks and what have you. Hey, Sprinkle. Good to see you. We're going over the first half of the week is good for starting tomorrow from like Monday, especially Tuesday, maybe on a little bit into Wednesday. We have nice energy for like bracing yourself for the full moon that's not the full moon, excuse me, the new moon that's coming up. Getting your thoughts and affairs in order, writing down what it is you want to work towards and where you want to direct all of this Aries energy. And I was saying that Monday, with this little with this sextile here and this conjunction here, is good for a comfy, cozy date night. If you have a significant other or someone that you just like to spend time with, I was thinking perhaps like the vision that I got specifically was a comfy little movie night in a blanket fort with little twinkle lights and pajamas and popcorn and snacks and so many pillows. That was the vision that it was giving me. So take that, do it with it as you will. So that is Monday. Tuesday, still playing on this energy a bit. Let's scroll down in my notes. At least the first start of Tuesday. Getting my affairs in order. Well, you gotta know what direction to point all this Aries energy. Otherwise, he's just gonna get scattered. It's like you have 15 different goals and you want to work on all of them at once. And it's like you have to pick a lane, at least for a little bit, in order to see the most progress, right? I mean, if you do everything scattered, eventually, yes, you will make progress, but it would be easier to see said progress if you narrowed it down to one or two things to work on specifically. Now, that said, the way that I frame it on later is that it might be a good idea to work on the, the pieces that, how did I say this? The things that are needling you, like the little tasks that you've been ignoring that only take like 5-15 minutes or something like that you just need to get done, but you don't want to do it. It might be good to knock all of those out and then work on like a greater picture. But yeah, it's time to pick one or two things and kind of stick with it. Saturn requires it. Our boy Saturn here, he requires it. So Tuesday, at least the start of the day, we're still feeling that kind of dreamy. We still have like some of this sextile going, this conjunction still happening. We're tapping into Pluto a little bit, but I do have notes on that later. But for now, what I have in my notes is that Mercury is going to be sextiling Uranus down here. We have 29. We have Pisces. Mercury is in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus. Very good. I'm glad you're feeling it. It's nice to have a bit of a break with all of the mess that's been going on. Sextile with Uranus with Mercury is just in time for him to roll on into Aries. We are at the 29th degree. Anything from Mercury's dreadfully extended stay, what with the retrograde in Pisces. Anything that's still confusing from that time, you might start having the pieces finally fall into place. I would love some pieces to start falling into place, me personally. If we, like I said for for Monday, keep listening for any like messages you might be getting from the universe. There might be some signs in the mundane. Maybe you can hear something in a conversation, since Mercury rules communication. or someone could just honestly go ahead and bring you some news that you've been waiting for. Like you might like literally have someone go, oh, you've been wondering about this, well, I found your answer and it's this, right? It's as simple or as obvious as that, but it could be something of like a final piece to a puzzle that you're looking for right now. Pisces and Mercury is related to things that are intuition, and Uranus and Taurus is giving you like clever ideas for improvement in your stability that has been very upheaved these last 7 years. I'm so tired of Uranus and Taurus. But anyway, it's a good day for also reaching out to somebody if you need an answer from them. It's a good day to send a little reminder, right? Like, hey, just checking in, making sure that we're still doing whatever, right? Like if you have a work thing that you need to be doing, or if you've been trying to get someone who's notoriously bad at planning to actually sit down and plan something, right? It would be a good day to do the follow-up is Tuesday the 14th with that sextile happening. The conversation should stay friendly. People seem to be in generally good moods this week. And also, it is a good chance to look at routines or an old budget that might have been practical or very useful once, but perhaps they don't work for you anymore. Uranus is coming in with their little eye and going, hey, can we change anything? What can we fix? Can we try something different? So it would be a good time to test something out, right? Any insights you get for planning, leverage them. Pick the route that you want to go on for that whitewater rafting trip that we're about to go on, right? Choose your fighter, choose your objective, choose whatever, and get ready to go. Anything positive that we implement from this little sextile, from these nice little peaceful, happy alignments, should start compounding and giving feedback soon enough to encourage you to keep going. That's not to say it'll all work out immediately, right? But it should be that you get enough feedback that you go, okay, this is working, right? Like maybe I'll keep doing this for a while. This seems to be the right thing. So let me shift this around just a little bit because we're about to get serious mode. So let me move my notes closer to me. Oof. You can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay. So now we have our lovely tomorrow and Tuesday. Overnight on Tuesday into Wednesday, our dear boy Mercury right here is going to be shifting into Aries. It'll be fine. It's just a lot, and when it gets channeled in good ways, it comes out really neat. So I'm going to focus on that, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But that sextile, obviously, he was at the 29th degree. With the 29th degree, this is just in time. Important court documents. Important court documents. Honestly, like any time right now, Sprinkle should be fine. Mercury's like, once Mercury's in Aries, I would just say go. Just go, right? Like this Aries is about action, so just go ahead and plug it in. The tomorrow is some really nice peaceful aspects, so if you don't need to throw hands, maybe tomorrow, or people would be more receptive to communication. So honestly, tomorrow or Tuesday still might be good. Otherwise, I would say basically any time this week, or those really nice aspects that Venus and Jupiter are making, and the new moon is really good for like planting seeds to get something really big done. So my advice is just do it this week. Tuesday, we did Tuesday, so overnight Mercury will be rolling on into Aries because 29 degrees, obviously the next one is 0. Out of, if we're going up to 30, Mercury in Aries wants you to make a decision now. There you go, Sprinkle. No more getting lost in the fog, no more decision paralysis, just go. If this is something that you've been trying to think about for a while, if you tend to know what direction you want to go in, like if this is not impulsive, right? Like if you've done the math, if you've sat with it, now is time to go. Now watch out for things that are impulsive. We'll get more into that later on as we keep going through these next couple of weeks. Mars is going to be getting a wellness check from dear old Saturn. But there's no more Pisces to keep little Mercury in detriment. He's not, at his tip-top best in Aries, but it's not quite as difficult for him as being in hazy Pisces. So the problem, yeah, okay. Then yeah, just go for it. Once either with these nice little things or once Mercury's in Aries, just go. The problem with this, and this is what I was trying to get at, Sprinkle, is people will know what they feel before they know how to articulate it. So this is a very much one of my little mantras that I got taught being raised was, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can have, and also that you are allowed the first thought, right? So you are allowed to think whatever you think for that first thing, but you have to give yourself time to sit back and go, okay, is this appropriate, right? You're allowed your first thought. Sometimes it's kind of mean, right? But, if you can step back and go, wait a minute, okay, I'm probably onto something, but I'm probably going about it the wrong way, right? So, or I'm probably onto something, and honestly, this is fine. Just a quick, run a mental spell check. Just run a mental spell check. Make sure you're not stepping into something that you don't need to be stepping in. Yeah, next lines that I wrote are careful with your words, double check anything angry that you may be writing up before you hit send. It is okay to be upset. It is okay to feel your feelings. It is not okay to, berate people who may or may not be involved, right? Like if you're trying to send an email to a company that you've been struggling with, remember that the person that you're talking to is a person and only a part of that company, right? Like you can voice your discontent, but you do not need to call that person in particular names. Right. While he's here with all of the extra other Aries is going on, you might feel impatient. You can feel extra independent and or more competitive than usual. Now, there's room for good, honest communication, but there's also good room for awful blunt communication, right? Especially with Mars in here, especially with the other, heavy hitters. You can be blunt. You can be, if you're not careful with that communication, you can get responses that are quick and potentially combative. But, and this with your court stuff, as long as you approach it the right way, Sprinkle, you can get decisions more quickly. And for all the rest of us, those decisions and whatever else that we may be working with can come more quickly. You can have ideas faster. You just need to remember to step back and actually, articulate them instead of just, I don't know, I don't like it, right? So, ideas can come fast. Just make sure those ideas are smart, before you open your mouth. On top of all of the other Aries energy that's going on right now with all of this, personally, like on a personal level, not necessarily a collective level, this is very good to launch something new. If you have a project that you want to work on, or make a pitch for yourself at work, or whatever you might need to do. So this is what I was saying. Yeah, Mercury is, yes. Yeah, I remember you and me, Sprinkle, are both Mercury chart rulers. You, me, and Sun. I think with all of my placements in the day that I was born, I've looked at my chart and I've go, oh, you were just waiting on me. But yeah, Mercury is a chart ruler, for Virgos and Gemini risings. Okay, so that is Tuesday. How are we doing? Any questions? Any follow-ups? How are we feeling? That's Mercury into Aries. He will be in there from overnight on the 14th, 15th of April on to the 2nd of May. You'll notice that this is a lot shorter time than when he was in Pisces, but that is because he will not be going retrograde. His next retrograde will be in Cancer, and then his third and final retrograde will be in Scorpio. So we've got some big emotional communication breakthroughs that really need to be dug into and worked through this year. But yes. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Going on to Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Okay. What we got? Ooh, Lilith square or trining Saturn. That's interesting. Okay. I didn't have time when I was doing all of my research. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. This is go, go, go. Okay, don't panic. Don't breathe. Yes, this is all on the I, the me, it's all about me kind of thing. Part of the chart. Remember that the opposite is we. And this is me showing my hand a little bit more, but we have me and we. And the shadow side of Aries is to act only on your own intention. Retro and the water signs all year. Yeah. Retro and the water signs all year. That's his theme this year. Buckle up. Venus is also going retrograde in Scorpio this year, so it'll be fine. No. This is the part of the year that a lot of astrologers have been warning you about, but remember, like I was saying, this is the I and the we spectrum, the me versus the we. And the shadow side of Aries is selfish, it is impatient, it is self-fulfilling and only caring about themselves, but a balanced one does the actions for the good of a community. Release me. We're all in this hell together, Sen. We're all in this together. You, me, and Sprinkle will take it one day at a time. Stuff will come in too, and we're good. Well, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. 2026 is something. Now, I will say I am awful excited for Uranus and Gemini for the next 7 years, though, because that'll be a lot. But also, cringe will officially be dead. But we'll talk more about that later. So, I normally don't care much about what. Yeah, Venus is going to be having a hard time. Venus is going to be feeling things. Venus is going to be feeling things, and I think it overlaps my natal moon and Pluto, and I have that. Sprinkle, have we talked about my moon placement? Because my moon placement is possibly one of the worst that I could have ever asked for, and like, it's fine. Like, nothing is inherently bad or good in astrology, and I know that. But it gives everybody that I have ever shown my birth chart to pause. Like, I go, what's the most interesting thing that you see? They always look at my moon. Always. Every single time they point at my moon. And so have I talked about this? So my moon is conjunct Pluto in Scorpio at 19 and 20 degrees. And Venus is going to go retrograde over that. So here we go. It is also the crux to a T-square between Chiron and Saturn. It is the middleman. So, hey, Story. How you doing, honey? My moon placement inspired this year's astrology. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all get to live a little bit in my head for this year. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not worried. We have the roadmap. We know that there is a good way and a bad way that we can channel things. We know that there are dozens of good ways and dozens of bad ways that we can channel things. As we are aware, we can choose one of the good things. And sometimes people will choose the bad things. But we have the insight, right? Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, and that's... Well, you should really... I know... Yeah, you're here, Story. I see you. You should really come out and hang out, at least for one of the art channels or something, because I'm the Scorpio moon, and then Miss May, the other one on the channel, is an Aries moon. So we're both your favorites. We are talking about the next 2 weeks of astrology, the forecast. So this is Lynn. This is your Rhiannon. We are on April 16th. We are coming up on... Ooh, I can't... Uh-oh. Sen, can you delete that thing on Twitch for me? The spam. We are channeling the next 2 weeks of astrology because I do these on Sunday mornings, and we... next week won't be able to do this because I have friends coming in. So we're going over the next 2 weeks. And of course, like I was telling the others earlier, Story, this is like 2 of the busiest weeks this year, of course. So we're just kind of going through it piecemeal. After I have time, or after I get through all of this, if we have time, I'll do some art. I am your dragon. Rar. Rar XD. I love cheese. I know. Okay. Anyway, so we're on April 16th. Nope. Yep, April 16th, Thursday. On Wednesday, I wanted to note real quick, though, that the moon will be going into Aries. I don't normally keep up with every single motion of the moon, but since the moon will be crossing on into all of this fiery, hot mess, affectionate dream, it would be, this is your emotions coming into play. This is your emotions coming into play. This is the emotions have entered the chat. Right. Oh, my cat's in the back doing something. We are very tight, Miss May and I. We have been together for, it will be 11 years in June. I can grill your cheese. So with the moon in Aries, emotions have entered the chat. This is where people who tend to be more of the fear-mongering type of astrologer are really worried, and like I'm concerned, right? Because like I've said before, everything has a shadow side, and a lot of shadow side is expressed in people that have power, right? At present. But you know, there's a good chance of tempers running high. There's a good chance of impatience. There's a good chance of, you know, just frustration and stuff, right? With him going conjunct immediately. Mercury, Neptune, Saturn, Mars, like, it's just, he's going through a lot. The moon, this poor girl is gonna be feeling some feelings, right? But with all of this energy, you can channel it for good. And we'll talk still more about this, I think, when we get to the actual new moon information. So bad things coming to the global stage, like what I said earlier, story, it could go either way. With Aries, it's a little bit of an all or nothing kind of vibe. But my big hope, especially with Uranus doing its thing, with it rolling into Gemini with technology and stuff, right, is that this will not explode into something crazy. My hope is that it will get channeled into something beneficial. So my big example is what just happened with NASA and the moon, right? That is extremely Aries stellium energy. It was a first. They were the furthest away from the Earth that humans have ever been. They did pictures of the dark side of the moon. They've never done that before, like not with people on the mission. And it was brave, and it was independent, and it was that really good balance between I and we. It was a handful of people. It was 4 people in space doing something for the greater good that had us all captivated, right? Like, that is an excellent example of Aries energy. And I think that was an excellent example of the good that we can see with this heavy Aries stellium, with Uranus about to roll into Gemini. So yes, things could go bad. Things could. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, things could go bad, but things could also go really awesome like that, right? So that is what I'm hoping for, especially with these little, look, we've got some nice aspects trying to help it out. Pluto's all about, you know, like raising things down to the ground just to bring something better back up. This is a huge reset, right? They were doing it was a 9-day trip. They went around the moon. And it was absolutely, like, I didn't keep up with it super close, but I did watch them coming back down. They find the Dollar General on the dark side of the moon? No. But it was really sweet because I believe one of the men is a widow, and he named one of the craters after his late wife. And one of my astrologers on the Instagram that I keep up with, like, nearly put me in tears because her thing was, get you a man who literally loves you to the moon and back, like that. And I was just bawling. but I didn't keep up with it as closely as I probably should have, but I thought that that was a very good expression of all of this Aries energy, finding the right balance between the me and the we. But I did want to note when the moon was coming into play, even though I normally don't care about what sign she's in all of the single time because she moves so fast, it doesn't really make a huge difference. Like, you might feel wavers, but everybody feels different emotions throughout the day, right? Throughout the day, she'll be going conjunct. I have notes for going conjunct to Mercury, specifically, because we've been talking about having a bunch of ideas. So before we do the thing on the 16th and the 17th, Mercury conjunct the moon is a good way to help you articulate some of those feelings that you might have been feeling but not necessarily know all of the words for. And you can look up Mercury conjuncting all of these other ones. Like I said, she moves fast. I'm not going to do every single little match that she does because she does, you know, tens if not dozens of them in a week, basically. But I wanted you to be aware. She moves in on 15th. That is when theoretically things are supposed to, if they go bad, you'll start seeing some boiling stuff happening then. But if they go good, you can also see some really big, interesting breakthroughs, balancing that I versus we. Okay, where are we at? No, I don't think he did. I think she might have been sick. I don't know all the details right off the top of my head. I didn't look into them that much, but it sounds like it sounds like he left her. Like if he was naming a moon crater after her, right? Like that's huge. So we are on the good old, let's do 12 hours back. Let's see where we're at. That's too far back. 6 hours forward. Hang on one second. I gotta finagle these to get to roughly where I want them to be. Almost. We're getting there. 1 more hour, please. Nope, still not there. Hang on. We're getting there. Promise. Oh my goodness. Okay. How's the weekend been? Well, I fight with degrees. There we go. We're getting there. Y'all do anything fun? I was telling Son I went to a friend's house last night to watch the women's soccer teams, Japan versus the US, last night. She's really big into women's soccer, and that is a sport that I am a casual enjoyer of. I don't do much with sports otherwise, but I've always liked women's soccer and figure skating. Excuse me. Big stretch. Shrimp check. Okay. Okay, so while we have this here, new moon happening, we will also have Mars sextiling Pluto, which I have mentioned before, but we won't bring it up again. We have Mercury conjunct Neptune. Again, articulate your words. This is all happening on Thursday the 16th. Mars sextile Pluto here, this little thick blue line, is a 2 or 3 day transit that can give courage that lasts. You might be feeling a little more quietly confident than you would have before. It will be a new confidence potentially that is available to you. Aries and Aquarius houses will be obviously the most impacted. So whatever Aries rules, whatever Aquarius rules, like for example, it's the Gemini rising. Aries is my 11th house and Aquarius is my 9th. Impacted signs may vary. And the new moon is over the night between the 16th and the 17th. I believe it will be your early morning story. And we're going to go over that here in just a bit. I tend to take it day by day. So bear with me. I promise I'm not intentionally just kind of stringing you along. We're just taking it day by day. So we are on Thursday the 16th. We have this Mars sextile Pluto. It should be giving you some confidence. Pluto gives Mars's drive some supporting determination and follow through. The impact can be big if you're willing to be a little extra bolder than usual. So put yourself out there. take a step towards something that, you know, you might be a little bit uncomfortable about, but you've been wanting to do it, right? Put yourself out there. Pluto will see and be proud. Impact can be big. Pluto keeps Mars's direction and keeps him from getting too scattered. So Pluto should help with the focus. Mars gives Pluto the drive to actually do something instead of just getting itself locked into decision paralysis. After a certain point, you have to get Pluto to stop weeding and actually do the thing, right? Weeding the grass. If you need to ask for help. Oh, thank you. Wonderful. Yay. Kitty pats, kitty pats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you need to ask for help and you know what you need and or have a plan, asking for it around this window during the sextile from somebody who is in a position to help you, this can get you some really good steps forward. Like, this can really go well. If you deliberately do something that you've been avoiding, this can include conversations that might be difficult. This can be cord cutting. This can be, you know, paying the bill that you've been ignoring, like whatever. Like answering the text message that you've been needing to answer for 2 weeks. I am so guilty of that one. It's a good time for it. And this is a quote from one of them that I was reading. Pluto in Aquarius favors strategic change through network and systems, so pay attention to who you align with and what you're ready to commit to upgrading for the long term. End quote. So yeah, this will just give you some bravery. This will give you a little bit more. Well, like I said, though, Sprinkle, this is a really good week for your court filings, right? They're in positions of power. They're able to help you. This is all about, you know, balancing the me versus the we. You need to get something taken care of. You've been trying to plan it. It's time to go. It's this week. This is your week to go do that. Pluto and Mars at sextile, you're stepping forward. You're making progress to something that can be hard. It can be scary. It's time to do it. Mercury will also be conjunct Neptune. We tapped on this a little bit, but we can talk about it some more. There's more emphasis here on double checking your work. We just had Mercury get out of Pisces, right? And that was more of this theme, but Neptune's going to be a little bit less wet in Aries, so hopefully this will help Mercury a little bit. Mercury conjunct Neptune is good for creativity. But again, remember how Mercury was in Pisces. You can get a little bit foggy. Things can get cloudy and difficult. Misunderstandings can come more easily. Ideas may be forgotten. So if you have some brilliant breakthrough with this conjunction, remember to write it down because you can forget. Now with this comes, though, with Mercury and Neptune playing in the realm of intuition. You can get more in tune with other people's feelings. You can have some daydreams that lead to really good ideas, but those details can be fuzzy. I'm gonna do some stuff with the IRS. I'm jumping. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. Just this week, go ahead and do it. If you need to do it, do it. Now, this emotional connection that you will be getting from this conjunction can help with those brave conversations you need to be having with Pluto and Mars. Like if we're thinking about how they all kind of play together, right? I will always remind you, like I have been all throughout this thing, check your words before you speak, right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Don't make any promises that you can't keep, and don't also let your needs get steamrolled by other people. Stand up for what you need. You know it. You can say it. This should help give you the articulation that you need to say things. Now, story. This is the new moon that you were asking about. This is what everybody's been warning about. This is the thing that could either go really good or really bad. This is the morning of the 17th. Early morning for some folks, later morning for others. I think for me it's at like 7 in the morning or something. The time it goes exact. But with new moons, with full moons, you have the day around it on either side to kind of work with it and stuff. So don't worry if you miss the exact moment. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, your Mercury will also be making a sextile to Pluto. So if you want a very specific day for your court document, Sprinkle, I would say probably Thursday. Like if you want a very specific, this is the day that you need to do it, it's Thursday. Pluto is death and rebirth, and in myth, also the god of wealth. So I don't know what the court filing is for, but like, bear that in mind. So yeah, Friday 17th in the morning, we have the Aries new moon at 28 degrees. This new moon, followed by the last full moon in Libra, is going to be one of the heavier hitting aspects this year, or at least it's one of the ones that are more talked about. This is an invitation for healing through action. So this is a time for, with all of this this me, this initiative aura, this initiative vibe from, what do we have here? We have 7 things stacked in Aries for this new moon. And we have Uranus at a critical degree. This is time for all things start. Just go do it, right? If you have a comfort zone, you don't need it anymore. Throw it away. You don't need a comfort zone. We're going to step out of our comfort zone. We're going to be feeling alive again instead of possibly asleep or really confused, as we have been feeling for the last few months. So this should hopefully help us turn the ignition. If we have been sputtering from all of the Pisces stuff still, if we have been sputtering from the Mercury retrograde and the shadow periods and stuff, no more. Nothing will be in... Mercury will be out of detriment. Nothing is in retrograde until early May, when Pluto goes into retrograde, I believe on the 5th or the 6th. All systems are go. If you're not doing, if something's not moving, either it's really, really not meant to be, or you're not doing it right. Right? Like, now is the time to push. If you have a project that you need to launch, now is the time to go. So don't need a comfort zone. I know it's so comfortable, and that spoken like a true Taurus sun. But no, we're done. We're done with this for a few weeks. We'll get back to that. So we have this week is go get it, and then we're gonna shift the sun into Taurus. How long will the feeling alive be? A while. Neptune was in Aries. Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years. Yeah, I would love to snap out of it, actually, Sprinkle. I am so tired of all of this. I am tired of being tired. We have nothing in retrograde, like I said, Sun until early May. So this is a really good time for initiation, but we have all of the outer planets will be moving into air and fire signs. Neptune just started a new 4-year cycle. Saturn just started a new 2.5-year cycle. Like, this is going to be for a long haul. But this is like the real big starting. Like, this is the flint started fire, right? The fire should be taking now. You could have been trying to start something and having it sputter, but this is when the flame should take. There are 7 major bodies in Aries right now. That is, from top to bottom, we have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Chiron, the Moon, and the Sun. The proportions of sleepiness and liveliness don't look good lately. Yeah, I get it. I've been really sleepy too. This is a lot of energy, and I did read that for some people with more sensitive placements to this kind of stuff, you could be feeling a little bit sleepier. Aries also rules the head, and so like I was saying at the beginning, I've been having a few more headaches than usual. Yes, they are barometric. Yes, the seasons are changing, but it's still kind of silly how things lined up for that. There's a lot of fear-mongering story going on about war on the collective horizon, and that is a possibility. But like I was talking about earlier, this is where I wrote it down. Remember that Libra is on this axis too, and so you have to find the balance to keep out of the shadow side. Look towards the we on the we and the me axis. So there's a healthy way to use this. We talked about NASA and the mission around the moon. There's a big act of bravery done by a few, the quote me, unquote, to benefit the many, the we. So if you haven't made moves based off of what you learned from the full moon in Libra, like how you needed to strike the balance, where you needed to put yourself first, where you needed to put boundaries down, what you needed to do to stop overgiving, now's a really good time to start implementing it to try to restrike that balance. Be careful not to go too far in the other direction. That could be why you've been sleeping for 13 plus hours, story. Yes. I'd have to go back. Yeah, the universe did say screw this and found her gas can, especially with like Lilith up here in Sagittarius doing this trine to all of these. I don't know if we've been noticing it as we've been progressing, but yeah, she's finding her gas can Lilith is finding the shears. Like, it's time. There's a lot of fear-mongering about war, the we axis, the full moon in Libra. Now could be a good time to remember that, and remind yourself that you are allowed to be your own person who wants what they want and is allowed to go after what they get. Obviously, don't take it too far, right? The shadow side to Aries is too much me, right? But it is good to be your own person. So, now be careful with this to not completely act first, think later, right? Remember with Aries and the Mars and Neptune conjunction and stuff that we were talking about, you may have thoughts that you can't quite articulate right away. Don't act on them until you know what you need to be doing. Make sure the actions pass a sniff test. That's why I want you to leverage earlier this week to sit there and really start feeling those thoughts out and start trying to articulate what it is you want and where you want to focus this energy. Because we need to make sure that we are intentional and syncing up with wants and needs and not just acting out of frustration or impulse or just to prove a point. So, make sure earlier this week, use your blanket fort movie night to sit down and write down what you need to be doing, what you want to be working towards, write your couple of goals that you really want to get set in motion. And now is a good time to get those wheels turning. This is what the full moon is in. Now, with this too, we will also have a pretty tight, but not quite exact conjunction with Chiron right here. It's basically exact, but it won't all be 27, 27, 27, right? But with this Chiron, it might dig up old pains related to the Aries portions of your chart, but this time it is to help you heal. It might take you this whole lunar cycle for this, you go through the full moon and then back to the new moon. It might take this whole lunar cycle of whatever this Chiron digs up to work through. But it is for healing it over, or at least to take the first few steps towards doing so. Whatever it stirs up, like I said, may keep getting poked at over this lunar cycle. Excuse me. But it is to help show you where you either compromise yourself too much to keep the peace, or where you stir the pot to get attention. Chiron is in what? Chiron is in Aries. Hey Doji. It is right here. It's this little friend that says KO, knockout. Chiron is a knockout. He will be conjunct the moon and the sun at the time of the new moon. And what this is trying to do is stir up whatever damage you might have or wherever you might be wounded in your Aries chart. And it's time to fix it and step forward. And be work towards healing it. Mars and Neptune are still going to be in a loose conjunction. Mercury will be getting up into the middle of things and being a bit of a problem child and or a mediator, depending on how you want to look at it. He and Saturn are going to also be going conjunct at this point. This will be a rush of ambition and drive. With Saturn, I would say there's a big opportunity for a lasting new beginning. Where is it? In my notes. You can start knocking out things that have been sitting on the to-do list that only take 5 minutes. So like I was saying, do your needling tasks that have just been bothering you, reply to that text message that you've been sitting on for 2 weeks. Send that email, do the follow-up reminder. The things that you don't like to do because it's too either, I don't know. With me, it's my social anxiety, right? I just sit there and I go, well, what if I'm bothering them? Don't worry about it. Yeah, most of these aspects are going to be personal for you. We're all going to be feeling these. And that's why I said go do your thing, Sprinkle. But everybody needs to be doing the things that they need to be doing. More so than usual. It's set up so that it will work out. If you need to get something started, it should last. Get the ball rolling on the big projects that you've been wanting to start. Saturn wants to get you moving. He wants to see consistency. With Neptune, Mars may get turned around about which direction he's going, so Saturn is here to turn him when you're in the fighting rink and the coach is having to hold you steady and point you the direction you need to go. That's kind of what Saturn's doing right now. This can frustrate Saturn and get you kind of second guessing. This can kind of get you worried about things with Neptune and Saturn and Mars all up in the fray. But yeah, it's a bit of a cosmic tug of war. But Mercury will be creeping up on this here little planetary sandwich we've got going on right here. This is just, we got a nice little sandwich right here. This is 4 different, like, major planets. To help speak truth, to help you articulate those feelings. And there are those sextiles with Pluto and Uranus happening right now. It should be okay, just be careful to make sure that Mercury is serving as mediator and not as problem child here to start stuff. Right. Last notes about the new moon is be true to you and, quote, empower yourself through action, end quote. If there's anything that you know you've been needing to let go of, especially after any revelations you may have had from that full moon earlier this month, it's time to let it go. If there's anything you need to get started, it's time to get it started. If there are any lingering scales on your person after the last shed of the wood snake, it is time to let it go. By Felicia. If you need to do something, yeah, take a first step. Even if not every single duck is in a row, step out of your comfort zone. It's time to try, even if you're a little bit nervous. Full disclosure, these things, these little astrology chats, make me very nervous every single time because I'm still learning. And I am always worried that I'm going to say something wrong or I will have misunderstood something or something like that and I'm going to get in trouble. No, I'm fine. But, like, just as an example, take the step forward, get the ball rolling. Just do it. Shia LaBeouf, just do it. And that is what this new moon is good for this time for the personal. Now, shadow sides again, things can start bubbling over, people can start getting way too self-centered, but we are all grown-ups here. We can be the bigger, well, not be the bigger person, right? That's just to excuse poor behavior in the other person. Don't be the bigger person, but, like, take care of you, but also remember to take care of yours and do what is best for everybody, not just yourself. Right. So, that is the new moon. We will keep going. Any questions, though? This one's a big one. Oh, I've only got it going forward 1 hour. Oops. Let's fix it. I'm not playing around with Felicia anymore. She's got to go. Bye, Felicia. Thank you so much, Sprinkle. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. Now, I do my best, and I know that I have done this. The average attention span for something on a new project is 6 months. If it doesn't start taking off by then, then it's not going to last, right? Or something like that. And I have been at this for way more than 6 months, and I realize that, but I want to go to Star School. I need a platonic sugar parent to pay for me to go to Star School. Ugh. That's my Mercury dominance going. I want to go to school for this, though. Okay. So here we are at, what is this? This is the 18th. Okay. We have Mercury sextiling Pluto going exact. We'll have been feeling that, for the new moon too. And these transits, I'm like looking at them going exact. I'm sitting there going, well, we've survived the new moon, so we'll be fine. But Mercury sextile Pluto going exact. This is Mars and Pluto gave bravery. Mercury and Pluto gives you sharpened wit. This will clear out whatever you may have gotten cloudy with Mercury and Neptune conjunction earlier. It gives room for real conversations. I think we'll have been feeling this over the course of the new moon too, so this should still help with articulation. Have I purchased software yet? I have a few apps that I keep up with. I have the AstroSeek account. I have all of my friends' birth charts saved. I haven't found anything specific that I want to do just yet. There's a course that I found. I think that it can be in person or online through a university in Essex, and they have a foundations course that's 3 semesters-ish long, and then after that you can start doing more advanced modules, but it takes 3 years to get through the whole program, so it's basically a bachelor's for stars. Anyway, we have Mercury sextiling Pluto. We have the Mercury-Neptune conjunction kind of keeping you dreamy, but Pluto's like, hey, keep your head in the game. Let's find words for what we're feeling. Mercury's like, oh, words. I love words. So Pluto helps Mercury give room for real conversations and help him cut straight to the truth, quote, especially around power dynamics, money, or shared commitments. So Pluto doesn't really like small talk. We knew this already, right? He's quiet. He's quiet. He doesn't like. I've heard about. Oh, that would be wonderful, actually, Sprinkle. I'd love that. I would love to read it. Let me get this. I will punch in. Time. Let me see. 1 second. And this is Miss May's work email. Just go ahead and send it over there, and she will send it to me. Anyway, where is my... Thank you very much, sweetheart. That's really sweet. I appreciate it. I need to do more. I've done a grand total of 1 formal synastry chart. Most of the time I just look at birth charts, so it would be really good to look at. Pluto doesn't like small talk. I've heard from people who work with Pluto or Hades, like, he doesn't really talk to you. Like, he does if you need it, but like, he's just gonna kind of passively observe, and I feel it's pretty similar for the planet, right? Just if he's talking, there's a reason, right? He's not just going to be talking for the sake of conversation. So this window is good for cutting straight to the heart of a matter. You can see through veiled speech a little bit better. You can kind of notice the idiosyncrasies or any... Oh, thank you very much. That's really sweet. I appreciate that so much. Notice hidden motives, or... And this is going out to all of my... this is going out to my neurodivergents, right? Like, my fellow neurodivergents, we will be in our element of going straight from the small talk and somebody that you've known for 5 minutes to talking about your, childhood trauma. So this is the level 10 conversations that you have right off the bat. Email didn't come through. I know it's gotten sticky before. LadyLapine@gmail.com. Try it again. I don't know why it does that sometime. Double check me. She has on her main page, on the main YouTube page, there is an email. You have to go through a CAPTCHA code, I think. But double check my work, but I think that's the one. Storytime can confirm, I believe. We'll see. If that doesn't work, let me know, and I'll figure something out. I can send you my formal work email or something. I don't know. Yeah, all day. Small talk. Small talk's hard. If other people start it, I can tend to do it, but I can't tend to initiate it. But Pluto's really big about not doing the small talk. So Saturday the 18th, the day or two around it, full moon or new moon, like, it's gonna be kind of intense. So have your level 10 conversations, read between the lines, etc. It's a good day for research. It's a good day for business plans, joint venture, and shared resource details. So, like, if you have a joint bank account, if you're doing a joint business, if you have a joint budget, good day to go over all of that. It's a good day for travel plans and the logistics around them, especially if you are traveling with other people. So it is just a good day for kind of logistics. We have, that is the 18th. We still have Lilith reaching over here in this trine. And the 19th, there's so much going on. I was like, can I just have a few days of no major transits? No, I think there's like 3 in the next 2 weeks. Sunday the 19th. Let's go. So we have the sun in Aries. Sextiling? The 19th? Oh no, wait. Sun in Aries, sextiling Uranus, Taurus at 29 degrees. It's not sextiling, though. Well, somebody was telling me about this connection with 29 and 29, and we'll talk about it. Did I do it right? The cats just don't give me any input. Well, this cat does. 29 and 29, Sun and Aries. We've got some up in confidence. I don't think that's a sextile, though. That's only 30 degrees apart, not 60. Confidence. We're just going to say confidence. We're going to be feeling confident on the 19th. I will look at it more later. I think there was something wrong with this thing. Not the thing that but the calendar I was looking at. Mars conjunct Saturn. And this is where it goes exact. This is where this goes exact. Doesn't have an email listed anywhere. Sen just gave you a copy of it too. If that doesn't work, then here. I have a... You got it? Okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. Lady Lapine stepping in. I don't know why my email does that, but I promise it's a real email that works. Storytime can attest. We have a pretty lengthy back and forth going with story. If that ever falls through again, and you want to send me something, I can give you another email that I use. Anyway, Mars will be conjunct Saturn on this here day. I think, like I said, after the new moon, this will kind of be a easy breezy walk in the park, or at least relative to what we will maybe feeling through the new moon. But this is when it goes back on, or like when it goes exact. Mars will be pulling the reins back on Mars a bit. No, Saturn will be pulling the reins back on Mars a bit. You may be feeling this for a day or two around the 19th, specifically, like we were talking about. Saturn is trying to offer discipline. Mars does not like discipline all the time and wants to keep going, and he may pitch a bit of a fit. This can be a bit mixed bag. This is a little bit of a mixed bag. You can have some discipline up, but there might be some frustration if you hit any delays or roadblocks, especially if with Uranus at the 29th degree and the Sun at the 29th degree at the same time, you may be feeling an urge to shake things up, to try something new. You may be feeling that urge all the way down to your core. So you might get frustrated if you hit any roadblocks. But if you stay flexible and patient, and remember that whatever you do does not have to be perfect. It probably can't be perfect. It will be okay. Just oh, don't worry. You just work through the feeling stuck. Just work through the don't sweat it. Just take it baby steps and get ready for roadblocks if things try to stop you. Overnight, in the 19th through the 20th, we have the Sun going into Taurus. We'll just go on ahead and go on to the 20th, since that will be good for that. Yeah, so we'll have the Sun in Taurus, joining Venus and Uranus. Let's see where we are at. So we're starting to find, theoretically, some of the Yeah, you're having a bunch of returns right now, aren't you, Sprinkle? You got a lot of things going on. But anyway, don't get frustrated, just kind of push through it. Mars will get irritated, but Saturn will tell you to just kind of persevere. And as long as you can prove to Saturn that you're willing to persevere, it's yours. I'm not nearly as scared of Saturn as a lot of people are. I'm not really scared of any of these planets. Like, some people are. People are like, I don't like Uranus. I'm like, he leaves breadcrumbs. You're fine. Anyway, so on the 20th, overnight between the 19th and the 20th, the Sun will be going into Taurus. We're finally starting to find something that looks like a break on the gas. Starting to break up the stellium just a tiny bit. Yep, it is Toulouse's birthday. His birthday party will be on the 19th. That is why I cannot do the reading for the week on the 19th. My little kitten boy will be 2 whole years old. Anyway, so we're starting to find some breaks. That's what this little, speaking of blue, that's what this little bar is for. We're going to have a little birthday party since I've got friends coming into town and they're extroverts and they want to meet everybody. And I was like, well, a cat birthday could be fun. So we've got more confidence, showing the real self. There's less trying to impress everybody. The bull is stubborn. The bull does not give 2 hoots about what you think about them. That is a good aspect to Taurus. You can start looking for the ground and possibly start wanting to reinforce things that we may have started building during the Aries megastellium. You might want to start adding some reinforcement to this here lean-to we've got going on, right? Some kind of foundation to actually start building. Because right now you've just got something that'll keep you out of the rain. It's time to start building it into a house, right? So this will start helping with that. It is the consolidation period, or the defragging period, I would say, with everything that's been going on in Aries. Kind of start piecing it together, kind of start making it practical, applying what we have learned and turning it into something steady. A good timing to help those seeds, like I said, that we've planted start taking roots, prune the weeds out around them, make them able to make those roots strong. Taurus will hopefully help mitigate some of the frustration with the delay that the Mars and Saturn conjunction will cause. Taurus is notoriously, in a positive light, notoriously patient. Yes, this chart is crazy, Nick, but we are good. We are good. Everything is fine. Let's see. Taurus will hopefully help mitigate some of the frustration. Taurus is patient when he needs to be and willing to take care of the, quote, boring but important stuff, unquote. Now, shadow side, don't get complacent, don't be resistant to change, don't let your stubbornness get the worst of you. But there's still plenty of things in Aries right now, so I'm thinking that you might slow down a peg, but you won't slow down too much. But I'm hoping that the tether to the ground that the sun will offer will also help us keep us from channeling Icarus. Let's stop flying too close to the sun. So I'm considering this as the start of consolidation period. We are starting to defrag things after all of the Aries gung-ho to make room for the stuff that we actually want to stick. Now, that is the sun in Taurus. He will be there from April 20th to the May 20th. Now, Monday the 20th, we have Mercury, our little instigator, patient to a fault. That patient to a fault turns into stubbornness, I'd say. Monday the 20th, we have Mercury either being a mitigator again or a problem child. This is when the conjunction with Saturn goes exact that we've been talking about. Hopefully at this point, like I said earlier, these conjunctions and whatnot will be a bit of a walk in the park after the new moon on the 17th. But we'll find out. So, usually Mercury conjunct Saturn I hope you've been careful with your words. I hope you've been thinking before you say something. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I cannot emphasize this enough. Miss May will emphasize communication, and I do too, but choose your words wisely. I had a bad case of foot and mouth disease when I was younger. Ooh-wee. Anyway, hope you've been careful with your words, because with Saturn, there can be a pretty significant checkpoint. Saturn and Mercury add a serious note to conversations, but Saturn is happy to help with tough choices. And also, remember that he is willing to call your bluff. So if you've been over-promising, if you have been, saying you can do more than you can actually reasonably do, he'll go, okay, you're going to show me? And then you'll be like, well, damn it. So, don't do that. I wrote in here, Saturn can be a bit of Mercury's ADHD medication to help him focus for a god dang minute. Mercury and Saturn can be a bad combo. Well, Mercury is a bit of the MSG of the chart, so Mercury isn't necessarily ever he's the closest thing to a neutral planet that there is. So Mercury is a bit of MSG. He emphasizes in these kinds of conjunctions what the planet is already known for. So if Mercury rules the mind and communication and what have you, and Saturn is about self-discipline and seriousness and getting things done, then what's going to happen is that your conversations are going to get a little more serious. You are going to become a little more focused. You will start kind of like Mercury likes to do a little bit all at once. Saturn will be like, I don't think you need to do that. So it kind of reins you in. If you've been over-promising, like I said, like with your words and stuff, Saturn will be like, all right, cool, now show me. And you'll be just like, damn it, I forgot. Right? So Saturn is a bit of Mercury's ADHD medication, and it helps him focus for a god dang minute, right? Like while he's here. It's good for clarification. It's good for articulating the thoughts that might have not found words yet. Well, with that Mercury, Neptune, and then Mars and Neptune and everything going conjunct, like it's a good time to, if you haven't been able to find words, this should be when you find it. It's also good for future planning, going deep into projects that need a lot of focus and detail. Be careful when you're not doing right and Saturn's calling your bluff, you might start feeling self-doubt. You might start doubting other people. You might start getting self-conscious and or second-guessing things that may start to happen. Now with Saturn, I will tell you every single time people think Saturn's a big meanie head, right? I think he is your, well, specifically my grandfather, but we all know this man. He is quiet, a little bit like Pluto in that he doesn't usually speak when he doesn't need to, but he is the aloof kind of stoic grandfather with the thick mustache that you can't see his mouth behind. But if you're doing what you need to be doing, he has a very dry sense of humor that you need to learn how to read, but he is quite funny, and there's a little twinkle he gets in his eye when he is smiling. So, my ADHD needs medication. So, with him, if you are taking care of yourself, if you are doing the right thing, or at least showing him that you are trying to do the right thing, you are not in trouble. You are only in trouble if you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not doing what you need to be doing. So, he just wants you to try. He doesn't need perfection. If it will help, if your thoughts are feeling a little scattered, if you're starting to doubt yourself too much, write out those thoughts, put them into words, put them in a chronological number list if you need to, step 1, step 2, step 3, just to like get it out of your head, stop circling the drain, right? Now, while he is conjuncting Mars, or Saturn, he will also be getting in between him and Mars and going conjunct Mars. I think that this will help with the decision paralysis you might be getting with Saturn and Mercury. So you might kind of freeze up a bit, but then you write your note, you write your list out, and you look at it and you go, oh, okay, this makes sense, right? So the decision paralysis might be easily able to be overcome right here because of this conjunction. And I'm hoping that if you do start having any second guessing, it should start helping with that. You need self-validation, Nick. Don't you? I wouldn't worry about what other people are thinking about you, but you should trust yourself, right? Now, Mars will give Mercury some drive. Saturn will start to step in if you start getting too compulsive. This is another one of those push-pull things to kind of keep you in check. Quote, speed is your advantage, but also so is not forcing the outcome. So that is the 20th. I get a break on the 21st because we just have more of the same. We have this sextile with the moon here. What is that planet? Let's see what we got going on here. That is with Chiron. So this might be a part where you're kind of getting whatever you got dug up with the Aries part of your chart, whatever hurts. You might getting poked the bear. The bear might be being poked a little bit right here. But it will be okay. 22nd. Let's see. Okay. April 22nd. Happy birthday to somebody. The sun will be sextiling Neptune. Was that what we're doing? Where's Neptune? No, I don't know why it keeps saying sextiling. These are only 30 degrees apart. You might be feeling something going on with Neptune, though. I'm going to read this off. It gets even more focused, huh? Things do get focused. We are in. There's just nothing. Just nothing. When the sun and the Neptune, but when the sun and Neptune are kind of playing like this, we can do something to help the community. It can be a good day to help someone that you know, that you don't know, and do what you can to make the world a little bit better. It's a good idea to practice some creativity, to practice some expansion. We have this here square starting to form with, oh, it's with the moon, so we're going to disregard the moon. Happy birthday, random Aries. Yours is earlier in the month. We are in Taurus if we are at the 22nd here. We are in April 22nd. This is Taurus. I'm gonna blow the lid. It's gonna be Steph's birthday. Don't worry about this square. It's the moon. The moon be doing things. You might have this might be a bit of a pinch point for a second, but it will pass in a couple of hours. So that is the 22nd. The sun will be doing things with Neptune. Play nice, have fun, do something good. Do some good. 23rd. Venus. This is one of the Venus. This is one of the Venus things. We had Venus doing some shenanigans right at the front of the month. We had, I think she was squaring Pluto, I think is what that was. And now we've got Venus conjunct Uranus. So this is the other pinch point. Venus is at home in Taurus, but we kind of bookended it with some not necessarily rough aspects, but just big aspects, right? So we will be having, no, we won't. We'll be out because we have our friends coming. Well, y'all remember in Discord, the 22nd is Steph's birthday. The 23rd, we have Venus going conjunct with Uranus. Uranus in Taurus. This is, like I said, the second bookend to the Venus in Taurus transit. This is the jolt. This is the upheaval. This can be upheaval with all things Venusian, especially considering that we are at the critical 29 degree, the anaretic degree. This is when things can explode. But it does not always have to be bad. Nothing in astrology ever has to always be bad. Not even my moon sign. Remember my parking lot metaphor that I've been bringing up with Uranus is like you've been looking for 30 minutes in a parking lot for a place to park the car, and then you finally give up and you go around the block, and then you have princess parking right there on the street, right? Like, it is just something that you don't expect that might in the end kind of be obvious. What is it? Words. Just something out of left field, thinking outside of the box a little bit, right? You might have to MacGyver something, but then it works out really well, right? Uranus likes to leave breadcrumbs about the things that he's going to rattle. So if you look at the Taurus part of your chart, if you look at things that Uranus might aspect to things in your chart, if you just think about things that are Taurus themes that you have been, or Venus themes that you have been wrestling with, these are good indicators of things that might be, he's starting to rattle the table. He hasn't flipped it yet, kind of thing, right? Now, quote, your emotions might be all over the place. You can be both thrilled and anxious. If we have been being brave and stepping out of our comfort zone, this can make a lot of sense too, right? Like with that, with the new moon and with everything, and we've been trying to be brave and everything's trying to push us, we can be starting to see results. We can be scared that maybe those results are flashes in a pan, things like that, right? You can be feeling a lot of things. Take care to keep looking for and finding balance. Uranus has been in detriment in Taurus since 2018. Taurus likes balance, Uranus does not. But he's almost done. This is the last hurrah, right? Watch your wallet. Don't overspend. Present yourself in a new way. Change something up about your appearance, about something related to your Venus sign, perhaps related to your Taurus aspect. Just shake something up a little bit. And be aware of the value that you're worth, and don't be afraid to let people know what you're worth. Feel your feelings. That is a good way to say it too. Feel your feelings, process them, and do something. On the 24th, this is the 23rd, we are on to Friday the 24th. On the 24th, oh, look at that little grand trine we got going on. That's sweet. Anyway, on the 24th, we have Venus going into Gemini. Now, I have not had, since I'm doing 2 weeks, I have not had enough time to go in quite in depth as I have been. My birthday week overspend. I'm on a budget. Like, when I get my platonic sugar parent, sure, Steph, I'd love to overspend, but until then. Anyway, Venus will be going into Gemini on the 24th. I put all of these notes together last night, but I also had some things to do. So I did not quite go as in-depth on this one as I wanted to. I will expound upon it in my Discord blurb that I do weekly. But for now, we will talk about how we might be feeling more curious, more social. Venus and Gemini becomes a little less feelings oriented and a little more communication oriented, obviously, if we think about it. So you'll be looking for like mental connections with people, right? Clown to clown communication. Connections with others can come easier, even through like small talk in public. I know that we're not big into small talk around here, but like sometimes you start the small talk and then you end up on those level 10 conversations and you look back and you're like, this is my best friend, and you've been talking for half an hour. And that's it, right? But there can be joy in that. You can make a new friend, you can meet some new people. You can have some extra joy to learning. You can have some extra joy to sharing thoughts and ideas. Aw, Nick, you're sweet. I appreciate it. So, I'll talk more about Venus and Gemini later, at least on the Discord side of things. But it shouldn't be too bad. It's a little more cerebral than I think Venus might prefer to be, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Now, let's go. We're gonna go by the hours here, because this one's a big one. This one's big. Come on. You can do it. Nope, we're getting there. Hang on. There she is. Okay. Now, depending on where you are in the world, it'll be overnight, but on the 25th and or the 26th, we have, shrimp check. We have a shrimp check on the 25th or the 26th, and we also have, exactly, Nick. So we have our lovely, lovely friend Uranus, who has been at the 29th degree in Taurus for the last couple of weeks, causing a ruckus in all things stability. You'll be going into Gemini. Now, this is another big one that people have been talking about. Let's talk about this before we talk about the Sun squaring Pluto. I had to put these notes together. This one is a big one. You will be able to find a lot of write-up on it. I will post some of the write-up that I can find as I find it. But Gemini will be housing. The shrimp check is constant, just not there. Yep, not just there. Yes, every moment is shrimp check. Uranus will be housed in Gemini for the next 7 years. We have him here from April 25th through consistently until the 3rd of August in 2032. Then he will step into Cancer for a minute and then slip back in retrograde from the 12th of December in 2032 to the 22nd of May 2033. The shrimp struggle is real. That's some text on a canvas bag. The shrimp struggle is real. Anyway, Uranus is exalted in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini, but they say that Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So Uranus likes to be in Gemini. This is one of the, what is it? Hang on. Our friend is exalted here versus being in detriment in Taurus. So I'm hoping that we'll have less of a shadow side presentation than what we've had since 2018. So in Taurus, Uranus is not happy. He likes change. He likes difference. He likes shaking things up. Taurus likes things to stay the same. Taurus also rules things like finances and security. And think about all of the upheavals that we've had with job security, with materials, with everything, supply chains, everything since 2018. We are all becoming crab. Where is he at now? Yes. So he is at present, he is at the final degree of Taurus. He and Taurus do not play along. So what is about to happen is this is on Saturday the 25th, Nick. He will be moving into Gemini. And he is exalted in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and the higher octave of Mercury is Uranus. It is the collective, basically, example of Mercury. So what Uranus represents is the chaotic side of things. He likes technology. He likes communication too. He likes advancement. He is the co-ruler with Saturn to Aquarius. So if you think about things that Aquarius stands for, I call him the affectionate social justice warrior. He likes to do things to better the community. Uranus likes to make big community changes. So he's exalted here versus being in detriment in Taurus that he has been since 2018. Yes, your boy is getting into a party that he likes. That is exactly what you need to know, Nick. So especially, like, this will be more of a collective thing on the whole, but Sin, me, and any Sagittarius risings and or Gemini risings that you might know. Doji, I want to be a lobster. I don't want to become a crab. Anyway. Anybody that you know with any like really, really major placements in Gemini and Sagittarius are about to be going through a really big upheaval. Everything becomes crap disappear. But like, Doji, lobsters are like almost officially immortal, I think. Isn't it? Like they don't age, it's just like they get sick and or eaten, basically. Something like that. And they can become quite large. And there was a big lobster statue when we were driving down to Key West in Florida a few years ago, and I loved him very much. Lobster is also crab. Okay, cool. That's fine then, as long as I can be lobster. Anyway, so he visited Gemini once already, from July to November of last year. So if you noticed anything changing around then, that could be the breadcrumb for what he's about to start shaking up. I am personally quite excited for this happening, because again, yes, his boy is getting into a party that he likes a lot. There is going to hopefully be, this is part of what you were asking me about earlier. There is no more autopilot. You are going to be alive, awake, electric, doing, right? Especially with us having Gemini in the first house. We are going to be going through some really big changes. It will be fun. Honestly, it feels fun. It won't always be easy. This is 7 years, right? But big statue of a lobster. Yeah, I wanted to leave him offerings. But anyway, obviously, you're going to have some struggles here and there throughout the next 7 years. But on the whole, this is like a big regenerative cycle for the collective, but also, yeah, like I said, for people with really strong Gemini and or Sagittarius, the other side of the spectrum placements, right? No more autopilot. Also, quote, forget trends. It's time to be weird. This is the part that I'm excited for. Now, with Uranus and Taurus, didn't like it. I think Taurus overcompensated. There's been a lot of same happening with the trends. My personal breadcrumb thought is on the matter that of the cringe is dead. The cringe is dead movement, right? It's going to go into overdrive. We'll be done with the old money, gray fashion, khakis, real plain, understated, hair in a tight bun, the same makeup, the same, all of that sort of stuff. We're done with it. It's done. It's going to be done. Beige mom fashion, absolutely not. No more sad beige children. And we'll be stepping out of the box a little more often in general. So, weird does rule. It's time for us to lean into our alt fashion of choice. I, for one, aspire to completely evolving into my fantasy romance vampire goth. Talking about weird, I wish parasols were more of a thing I see people use in the summer. Well, wouldn't you know it, Nick? You'd love seeing Miss May doing her thing, because she does have a parasol that she uses in the summer. So bring them back. Be the change. It's time. Cringe is dead. Cringe is, as of Saturday the 25th, cringe is getting its tomb. It has been on life support. We are done. We are done. It is time to go. So, that is my personal breadcrumb on the matter. Cringe is dead. Cringe is officially dead. Cringe is dead, and we have killed it. So, stepping out of the box, get more alt, do your thing, express yourself. If your self-expression happens to be sad beige mom, that's fine. You do you, but other people will also be doing them, and so there will be subsequent diversity on the matter. There will be a rapid progression of technology, particularly related to communication and connection. Everyone is talking about AI, but and this is me showing my bias, I don't like AI. Like, full stop, not a fan. I hope, personally, that it'll eventually bust, or at least the hype can die down. It is a money-sucking machine, a resource-sucking machine, and I'm hoping that we put a stop to it and or learn how to make it managed. But where I see the like, manage it like Bluetooth, right? Like, things have Bluetooth. We use it sometimes, but it is not the end all be all like it used to be presented as, right? I'm hoping that if we do have to keep AI, it goes kind of that route. Now, my breadcrumb for this was that NASA trip that we just had, right? This is where you have not been sad, beige mob stuff, don't worry. This is where I keep bringing it up, but that trip around the moon went really successfully. They're planning on trying to work on a moon base next in the next few years. Like, this is where I see the technology advancing, is like the space travel stuff and things like that. I'm guessing at some point here soon we'll have Internet 2.0 instead of the internet now, a la the dead internet theory. They want to build the moon base. They sent the rocket out during the seed planting Aries stellium, and now we're set up for 7 years of huge technological progress. Right. So this is kind of the direction it's going. This is way too short for what it all is, right? But like, this is kind of what we see happening in the stars, right? Again, everything has a shadow side, everything has a light, it's the positive side. I'm hoping that we lean into, especially with Pluto being an Aquarius, something age of Aquarius. We've got another train of thought talking about how we're coming into like the period of the Phoenix. I don't know quite all of what it is, but anyway, Star Trek. Yes. Not without upheaval first. It will suck to get there. But hopefully we're starting to work towards it. Hopefully we're looking up and going, you know what we're doing kind of sucks. And I am hoping beyond hope that things start going to a more, this balance here, the balance between me versus we. So there's more to it. I'll find some blurbs. I'll post them in my Discord for everybody to like review more in depth. This is more of a collective planet, but like I said, so, more of a collective planet, so everybody will be feeling it, but look for placements in your Gemini house. And especially those with Gemini or Sagittarius risings, the opposite ends of the chart, you will be feeling this. Geminis will be feeling this on a personal level, and they will be having the transformation themselves. Sagittariuses will be getting transformation by way of other people. Right. But still, regardless, if you have planets here, if they're making any major aspects, and or check the houses that these two rule, you will feel some impact here over the course of the next 7 years. Now, that is a long time. But in the shorter interim, we also have the Sun squaring Pluto. The Sun in Taurus wants respect, it wants consistency, it wants stability, and Pluto can show you where group dynamics are influencing and or controlling you for the better or for worse. This is a good time to cut a bad habit or situation if you need to. It's good for cord cutting, should you require it. You will have no tolerance for manipulation. There's been a lot of seeing through the smoke and mirrors and stuff, right? This is where you go, I'm tired of this. And you kind of put your foot down. The Sun, like I said, wants stability, and Pluto does not care for nonsense. He does not like fluffy language. He does not like beating around the bush. Get to the point. One of the quotes that I read that could be applied for this kind of a square is, I'm not doing it their way anymore. And this rings pretty true with Uranus stepping into Gemini too. We're tired. Cringe is dead. We're going to do what we want. Now, there may be power struggles for the days around the square for a day or two on either side. You may overcompensate and try to be too controlling. But if you don't force the outcome and focus on controlling what you can have an up in persuasiveness. You can, get people's attention. use that persuasiveness for truth, not just for victory. You know, just don't try to just be doing it because you can, but if you can apply it to something and, you know, use it for truth with Pluto cutting through the BS, he will see what you are doing is for the good, and you should be good to go. Everybody is getting affected by these transits, like I tell you every single time. If you are trying to do things for the sake of winning, not for the sake of a greater good or a truth, they will be able to see right through you too. Patience and endurance through this transit can impress others. They will recognize that you are trying to do the right thing for whatever reason it may be, and it can put you in a position to have these people that can help you be able to help you and want to help you. Now with this one, this square, watch out for thinking of things as a zero-sum game. Things are not all or nothing. This alignment may make it feel like things are all or nothing. That is not how life works most of the time. Pay attention to where the tension is coming from. If you can figure out where you're feeling the sense of all or nothing, it can give you some good insight and some good leverage. So, most places have a work where I live. People can, this is, yeah. So hopefully this is a bit of a death knell of some of the problems that we are talking about in chat. I see. So now that is your next 2 weeks ahead. What kinds of questions might we have about them? Let me see if I can do this by myself. Let's see if I can do this by myself. Can I do it? Did I do it? Hang on. Come on, guys. Maybe I did this by myself. Wait. Oh, wait. That's scream. Ah, hang on. Oh my goodness. Look at me. Hey, I did it. Okay. Everybody be proud. So this is the next 2 weeks. What kind of questions do you have? It does look more positive, yes. Like I said, there's some growing pains around all of this, but like, it seems to be like meant as more of a counterweight. The growing pains to keep us from like going too fast and messing something up. That is at least my hope towards things. So, hang on, I'm reaching. That is what we have. But I'm happy to sit here and chat. We've got an hour left in our stream. For 2 weeks you shall be back, Kitty and friends. You are not awake enough for discernment. That's fine. Come have a coffee with me then. Go get your coffee. Let's go. Okay. So in all of this time, I have made 0 progress on this. I've been telling everybody I am underemployed and busier than I have ever been. Wiggle check indeed. Thank you very much, my dear. I am evolving. Well, so too are you. Into a crab? No, I'm trying to. I'm transforming into hot dog crab. Not hamburger crab. Hot dog crab. Anyway, so please, Elle, if you have questions, feel free to ask them about stars. I'm not good at tarot, so we don't do tarot today. But I can help you with stars. If I don't know the answer, I'm happy to look it up. I see we have some people on the Twitch side. Hello. In the meantime, we will be doing some... Oh. Hello. In the meantime, we will be doing some art and kind of hanging out. I'm here for another hour. Hot dog crab is superior. Yes. Now, don't you have... Now, does it extend your fish allergy, Doji? Does it extend to shellfish, or is it just fish? Looks very vibrant. Thank you. I need to... I've been working on the shading, and then I need to figure out a way to make the food not look like not food, basically. you can figure out what I mean. So now is my chance. After I get done with this, I need to finish a birth chart. And then after that, I'm hoping I can go ahead and take care of the rest of these arts that I need to be working on. So, hello everybody, here I am. Feel free to ask questions, feel free to pick a topic to chat about. I am all ears. If you have any questions about stars, I am happy to help. I have recently... Station Nation. Oh yeah. I have recently opened up for practice readings. There is a link in the Ko-fi. If you go to Lady Lapine's Ko-fi under the commissions, mine is the last available option. They take me time. I need to get this art done, so it would be a minute before I could get to it, but feel free to take a look. Otherwise, I'm happy to just talk about little aspects here and there. Those are some vibrant watercolors. I'm very happy with this set that I've gotten so far. I also noticed that my style with watercolor is quite different. Not really different, but like, how do I explain it? I don't know, my style with watercolor is very vibrant, just kind of across the board is what I've noticed. Anyway, how's everybody's weekend? What's everybody going to be manifesting over, or working towards over the new moon? Let's talk about it. Tell me about what you're thinking. I've got, friend of mine coming into town next week, but right now I'm going to be trying to get this done. I need to get this birth chart that I've been working on done, etc. So let's talk about it. Tell me about things. Manifesting happiness. That sounds great. What steps are you going to be working towards? Because this is a very take the steps kind of thing. I would like to manifest no flowing soft pastel feet. No. Which is very funny, but there's a meme, and I can post it on the Discord, but there's a meme about this, and it's very true to form for me and May and our art styles, but it's about Junji Ito versus Hayao Miyazaki and their use of colors and storytelling and such. Manifesting organization. I'm manifesting more of next week to realize. Yeah. That'll be a useful little check-in kind of thing, right? And anyway, yeah, there's a meme that I think of when I look at my art versus May's. Thoughts forming since going to my local church. I don't know, I've seen. Yeah, that's fair. But I want to work on manifesting the things that I have been wanting to do anyway. This seems like just a cosmic lineup for things that I've already been kind of working on, if that makes sense. So, it just kind of furthers the actions. Thank you. Yeah, there's a meme, it's very funny, about Junji Ito, the horror artist, versus Hayao Miyazaki, the guy who does Ghibli. And the guy who does Ghibli is, like, always in black. He's kind of grumpy. He's, you know, chain smoking in the corner, like, frustrated about something. And then Junji Ito is just, like, this happy little sunshine guy. And then their art, you have Junji Ito's, like, master of, like, horror, basically. And then Hayao Miyazaki's, like, little sweet, friends being friends and happy little love stories and stuff. And that has proven to be quite true for me and my experience and all of my, like, just everything sucks, so I'm going to just make things that are happy kind of thing versus everything's fine, so I'm going to scare the pants off of everybody. Yeah, that do be cat behavior. Peak cat behavior. So, need to get this page done, hopefully today, and then I can start working on the cover page. And then once that's done, I can focus on trying to get some more little star chart practice readings and things of that ilk. But I also have some art pieces of my own that I've been trying to work on. I just haven't had time since I've had these to do. Anybody got any good movies or anything lately? What's going on? How's life? How's the Aries stellium been treating everybody so far? Like I said, I'm tired but feeling a little more energetic than usual at the same time. I don't know. It's been strange. And then I've had more headaches, but also, like, not less willing to let them stop me. That's been an interesting combination. I can give those dice a roll at some point. How do we want to leverage our answer? Because the way that I usually leverage them is I say that the higher the number, the better the odds, or if it makes like a Yahtzee matchup, so like a full house or a straight flush or something, you have some pretty good odds too. What kind of dice or something? Yeah, part of that's because Spooky Bunny Eve is done and we have time to think, right? But especially you did all the layout, I just helped manage the actual day. I had no plan, but matching numbers would be cool. Okay. Sen, you like it when I roll the dice. Do you want to ask anything? Anybody? Also, remember today was bring your own background music if you are so inclined. May I suggest 1 hour of bug music? What are we thinking, Sen? What are we asking? I guess if you want to do my silly little half-wit... Ooh, did I unplug? No, I'm here. Okay. My little half-wit dice reading. We can ask questions that way. But it's a little more like a Magic 8 Ball and not quite so specific than tarot. You are on the spot right now. We can just check in on the new moon. You want to just do that? You're on the spot because Nick was no help. Bug music is great. Yes, bug music. 1 hour of bug music. There's 2 parts. There's also 1 hour of bat music. There's 1 hour of crab music. Speaking of crabs. Ask them the meaning of life. Well, I'm not... That's just numbers. That's just numbers. This what can you infer? We have 2 6s, we have a 5, 2 and 3. We're missing a 4. Let's see. That's a 5. There you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The meaning of life? Get through it, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Outlook is good. Yes, life outlook, great. Let's see, new moon. 5, 5. 4, 1, 2. Okay, let's see. What is dinner plan? Numbers, apparently. Do you want to eat dice? Because you could eat dice. Nope, that was a 5. I have 3 5s, 2 3, 2 3 5 5 5 for the new moon. So that makes sense with some of the push and pull, and then things are good, things are go, but some push pull. A little bit of resistance, right? Dinner plan. Okay, Doji, here's your dinner plan. You ready? Let's see. Tell me which ones you want to roll, because we got 1, 3, 4, 4, 6. Which ones do you want to roll? What do you want me to work towards? Hang on, we gotta figure out Doji's dinner plans 10, and then we will do it. We will do your execution of your plans for the week. Doji's gotta tell me where we want to go. Do we want to follow like a straight? We got 1, 3, 4, 6, or do we want to do like doubles? Just roll them and I will get an idea. Okay. I'm going to keep the 4s. Let's see what we get. Got another 4. Okay. Whatever it is borscht, maybe? That's red. Like a beet. Bring the beet in. Anything for you, Beyonce? Okay, yeah, you got 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. There you go. That's your first roll, and then your 2 extra rolls, a la Yahtzee rolls. So figure out what you get. I'm guessing something red. Plans for the week. How successful? Ooh, we get them all over the place. Let's see. Hang on. I gotta move the crystal ball. So many things I need to know. 2. Okay. Let's see. Can we get a 3? Give me a 3. Not quite. Feels more like potatoes with something since many and a few small. Yeah. Spaghetti with some Spanish stuff. Spaghetti bolognese, clearly. Something red and some water. Shrimp. Shrimp check. All right, for your weeks then. We have 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. So we can go the higher number route, or if we are looking at it from a straight perspective, I would read this as things are going to happen and you will be fine, but you will hit those inevitable road bumps. Don't get discouraged, keep going. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my dinner plan. Is hungry girl dinner. Let's talk about Uranus and Gemini, because I'm having fun. Let's see what we got. A bit like trial and error. I mean, like, you got there. It was close to a straight. You were just 1 number off. Uranus and Gemini. I get a full house? No. I got a 5 again? Okay, that's fair. So, that was fun. If you're having fun with that, you can keep asking me questions. I can do questions this way. Like, that's fine. It goes way faster than tarot at any rate. But I can't, obviously, I can't see into specifics. It will not conform. Absolutely not. She does not like to conform. It's time to get weird. I'm so ready to get weird. You saw some pink blue. Uh-huh. So. Happy to keep playing with those. It's fun. I don't know much about it, but just with my little made-up rules. I've always had a lot of fun with it. What do my organization plans look like? Organization plans. So far, so good. Alright. Pretty good. If we're just going off of higher the number. You got 1-1, but like 3 6s and 1 5 isn't bad. The cat is yelling at you. You need to tend to that. I'm glad it's not just my cat that yells at me. What is your vibe check? Okay, hang on, let me finish this blue, and then we'll do a vibe check. Yeah, you can just ask as many questions as you want. This is just me having fun, right? Hey hosters, how you doing? We're at the art portion of my art stream, or astrology stream. Let's see, vibe check. Now we're just playing with my dice too. 2, 2, 4, 4, 5. Do you want me to roll it again, Nick, or do you want to leave it this way? 666 is pretty great, you're right. Nick, do you want me to roll again? And if you do, which one do you want me to roll? You can have 2 more rolls. You just ask them to be rolled, no plan. I figured. That's why I didn't keep going. Okay, so you've got 2 2s, 1 5, and 2 4s. So I would kind of put these together and just say that you've got like 3 4s, right? Because these make 4, divisible by 4. Have a job interview tomorrow. Beside that, I'm doing fine. Well, good luck with that. I hope it goes okay. Is it for something like really good? Or is it just a make ends meet kind of thing? Elevate, do not take the 3rd choice. Alright. Yeah, there you go. I can roll the dice. I don't do tarot like Miss May does, but I can roll the dice and we can figure out about job interview if you would like to play in this space with me for a little while. I'm not really good at reading dice, but I like to play it by Yahtzee rules, kind of. Yeah. Fair. I hope it goes okay. Let us know. We'll be sending you good vibes. Interview tomorrow. I think the job interview, if we're looking at star stuff, hosters, if I just think about that, I think that's a really good day for it. I think you did okay. And like if we just want to like look at my star stuff for a second about it. So we've got a really pretty sextile happening to help people be more receptive. And also, it would be a good day to give yourself a little treat after you get through that interview. Let me look at my notes. So on yesterday, or tomorrow, let's see. Yeah, Mars is going to be conjunct Neptune down in Aries, and then Venus and Taurus will be sextiling Jupiter in Cancer, so it'll be good. And that feels good for a job interview too. It's a very get stuff done week this week. So we had our friend Sprinkle over on the YouTube side who has some legal stuff to take care of too. That Aries video that I watched called me out so hard. I start many ideas but burn out and don't stay for it to sustain itself. I'm looking forward to the Pisces one. I feel like the Pisces one is just going to be telling you that that is adding fuel to the fire, right? Because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter as the traditional ruler and Neptune as the modern ruler, and Neptune is about dreams and illusions. So I feel like you have big lofty goals, and your Pisces gives you those big lofty goals, and then your Aries is like, yeah, let's go do it, and then you don't. I don't know. Miss May had to set it all up. I guess there might be an astrology catalog on Twitch. But I have been self-studying astrology for a few years now, and I'm still not like, oh, I can just read you for filth on the bus, but I like to go through it all with everybody, and what I don't know, I'm happy to research, and such as that. And it's been a lot of fun. I made a few friends, got some friends along the way. It's about the adventure. Found out a lot of things while I've been doing this, even just in the short time I've been doing it. It's been nice. So, we go over things for the week. I had to do 2 weeks. The whole thing will be on the YouTube side if you're interested. And or Discord. And then I am always happy to help answer questions and or look things up as I don't know them. Ascendant is the most important one. That was a thing they did, I believe, in the 1930s, Nick, to kind of make it more easily consumed for the sun sign. I believe before that, people who were into astrology related more to their ascendant sign. So, since I've been, like, the sun sign and the moon sign are also very important, but the ascendant is how you drive the car, how you experience the world, right? And as a result, especially since I have a night chart, and both of my sun and my moon are under the horizon, I relate really, really hard with Gemini. And I know that some of Virgo sun too, right? So I've just got a double dose of Mercury. But yeah, the ascendant is really, really important and kind of the crux for the whole thing. Excuse me. So I always get really frustrated when I'm like looking up things online and they're like, read it for your sun, moon, and rising, but they write it for just your rising sign. So I just, at this point in the game when I'm reading for things like that, I just look at aspects that things are making to my sun and my moon, and then when I do the horoscopes for myself, I just look at my rising sign, so I just skip straight to Gemini. But as I understand it, yeah, in the before times, people would read the horoscopes based off of their rising sign and their ascendant. Sun signs are for the magazines. And then, like, if you only have, like, a really superficial knowledge of things, too, right? Like, you're not gonna know that when they write it geared towards an ascendant sign that it won't be affecting your whatever house that it might be or what have you, right? I don't know, there's a lot to it, but you are right, sun signs are, in fact, for the magazines. Which isn't inherently a bad thing. It gets people interested. It gets the ball rolling, right? But it does really, really simplify things to, like, a fault. So yes, the sun is your core and the moons are your emotion. And you can, in fact, relate to them very, very much. But when you are realizing, or when you are reading for things, it's the whole picture. Yes. The sun is your core. That is who you are at your very deepest part. The moon is your one. It can be like reminiscent of how you were raised, like your childhood and stuff. But 2, it is your emotional core. Like, it is how you process the world. It is how you feel the world. And then the ascendant is how you experience it. And and how you present yourself in it, how you interact. I do have a lot of my sun in me stuff, but I also have so much Mercury. That's what I was talking about earlier, is like I looked at my chart when I first got really into this, and with the Gemini, and then with the, but then I would also argue too, like maybe I do have a fair amount of my sun in me, because I think that Virgos get a bad rap, and they're actually a lot more playful than they're made out to be. Right, with Mercury as a ruler, you're giggly, right? You're here for fun. And yeah, you can be a perfectionist. Yeah, you can be nitpicky. Yeah, you can be all of these things, but like usually there's a point to it. Usually you're absorbing information and then you just pull that information out whenever. But as far as life experiences goes, like yes, there is a fair amount of my sun, but I definitely see the difference between my core being that sun sign and how I experience the world relating more to Gemini, with me just being a little goofball that enjoys silly jokes and shenanigans and never taking anything too seriously. Yeah, things being categorized by sun signs is a very short sell. There's so much more to it than that. But no, when I got into my chart stuff, there's so much just Mercury. It is just Mercury. And I have all things considered, I have a pretty balanced chart. But it is not just Virgo. It is not just Gemini. It is just Mercury. Mars too. Mars likes me too. I had a teachable moment with a buddy last week. He kidnapped me to see a park, hoped the free parking was actually free. On the way where he was worried he'd been clamped. Okay. Knowing how I know you, how does what work? What do you mean? 1, I might have to look at your chart. I don't remember everything off the top of my head. But everybody has chart rulers, and some have like multiple kinds of things. And for me, it's Mercury and Mars. Yes, the dread of the unknown is awful. I do that too. Unfortunately. I'm trying to get better about it, but it's hard. It's hard. I'm really bad about that kind of dread, too. I don't like being in trouble. And I know I'm probably not going to get in trouble, but... Am I floating? I'm ascending. Our sun, Virgo, Moon, Scorpio, rising. I mean, you can look at things and the way they play. So Virgo, Moon. Where's Cancer in your chart? You need to look at where Cancer is. That can give you some indications. Scorpio rising, you're probably... Let me go through the chart. Scorpio, Sag, Aquarius, Pisces. Sag, Aquarius, Pisces. Sorry. Okay, that's 4. Aries. Taurus. Gemini, Cancer. So look at your 9th house where Cancer is. See what's going on. That's going to give you some insight into your moon. Scorpio rising. That means that Mars is your chart ruler by default. The planet that rules the ascendant house is going to be your default chart ruler. But that said, depending on how many aspects it's making in your chart, depending on what other planets have some say in your chart, mileage may vary. Right? So for me, Mercury is my chart ruler. He is also in his 3rd house, which is the one that he rules over. He is in Leo, which is the spotlight. He is at a Mercury degree, the 27th degree. My ascendant's at 20. I have something else that's at the 27th degree. A couple more things, I think. I was born on a Wednesday, which is Mercury Day. I am a Virgo sun. I have not a stellium, but I have a couple of planets in Virgo. I got a lot going on with old Mercury there. But also, Mars is in my 1st house. So that gives him a little bit of weight. He is conjunct-ish, like in a medium strength aspect, with my ascendant. So with that gives me a lot of self-power, self-motivation, self-drive. Mars in Gemini is a very cerebral position. I'm not really one to throw hands, but I can out-logic somebody in a minute if I need to. Ascendants tend to impact appearance in some way, shape, or form. So Gemini rules the hands. I move my hands a lot. My hands are noticed a lot. But then also any planets in the 1st house can have some effect there too. So with Mars in my 1st house, I am stronger than I look. I think that keeps some of the Gemini lankiness off of me. And I am also a redhead. So use the awesome website Kitty uses. Also one of the few things I have read. Strange. When I was young, I used to read a lot. Now I don't care for it. I mean, that happens, right? Like, life gets in the way. I love reading. I used to read a lot. I need to get back into it. I do still enjoy reading. But that is a very normal neurodiverse experience, Nick. Audiobooks. Yes, there's the dominance page. We can, let's see. I could share, but yeah, there's dominance. I can show you where to find all of that on the Discord. But yeah, so those two have a big place. But then I have a lot going on. My chart is actually like, yes, Mercury has his fingerprints all over it, but it is very balanced overall. My moon placement is what everybody focuses on when I show them my chart. You weren't here, hoaxsters, but I have a Scorpio moon conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, obviously. So possibly one of the most challenging things, but also quite rewarding. But it is the crux of a T-square between Saturn and Chiron. So it is a mess. But Saturn is also my elevated planet, so he likes to have a say in things, but he kind of takes a bit of a back burner to things like Mercury. So he just wants me to make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing, right? To progress where I need to be progressing. Yeah, it's a mess, but it's fun. It's good. I want to know what my dominant physical traits. Underestimate how useful hands are. Pisces is the end of the chart. If we go down, Aries is the head. Pisces risings. Look up what like Pisces risings kind of. Pisces is, yeah, it's a fun mess, hoaxsters. Pisces is Neptune. Neptune would be your sorry. Pisces has a co-ruler. So the traditional ruler for Pisces is Jupiter, and the more modern ruler is, oh, thank you. I guess that's probably for a reading. Anyway, I can look at that later. You're going to have to hold tight, Mom. Steph, I need to get through a couple other things first, but don't let me forget. You can tell me about it. But with Pisces has 2 rulers because of outer planets getting discovered. Let me find my words. So Neptune is the modern ruler, and Jupiter is the traditional ruler, Nick. So look into how Jupiter and Neptune affect physical appearance. I don't remember your chart off the top of my head, so if you have any planets specifically in your first house as well, Nick, they can also impact that appearance. And so with Gemini, Uranus, Venus, and Moon, when it comes to dominance, it's just like whatever. I mean, the Venus and Moon being dominant is sweet. It's in, I think. Uranus is tough, but you still have Mercury as your chart ruler, Sun, because of Gemini rising. So see what kind of angles and aspects he might be making to any of these. Yeah, it gets complicated. It's science, I'm finding out. There's a lot of math. That's why I want to go to star school so bad. But anyway, see what aspects Mercury might be making to Uranus, Venus, and the Moon. Also, pro tip for the more advanced chart readers out there, something that I just learned today. When you have outer planets aspecting inner planets, so outer planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Those are the more collective planets. When they are aspecting an inner planet, everybody goes, which angle do I focus on? You go out in. So if your Uranus is aspecting Mercury, that is Uranus adding pressure to your Mercury, not the other way around. There's your pro tip from me to you that I found out just this morning. And I thought it was very neat. A very neat pro tip. That honestly will help me so much. But yeah, Steph, don't let me forget. I'll try to get to that soon. I've got to get through one more birth chart this week, and then I want to get this done this week. This art commission, or at least this in the cover page, and then anything else I get as bonus. Don't forget what? Yeah, for real. And if I have all of you reminding me this week, great. Honestly, great. You just message me when I show up in chat going, how's that commission going? I like Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Mercury pressuring Saturn. Yeah, exactly. And Saturn over here, and that Mercury pressuring Saturn going, oh, that's cute. So for things like people born in 1989 have that Neptune and Saturn conjunction that we just got through ourselves, but it's in, I believe, Capricorn, not Aries, obviously, but I believe it's in Capricorn. And that tends to err more towards collective when it starts getting too outer planety like that. Now, Saturn is still a personal planet, but on a bit of a broader scale. I don't know, it's weird, but yay! I love being Pat. Great. Oh, you can't see what I'm working on because I'm in the corner. That's why this one's so far behind. Let me see what I got. Can I do this? Yeah, there we go. Welcome to your Saturn return, folks. Godspeed. I mean, Aries Saturn is... Everybody's like, oh, he's in fall, he's gonna be extra, but like, also, like, Aries and Saturn is going to be a little bit kneecapped. So I honestly don't see it quite as being as big a deal as everybody's possibly making it out to be. But obviously, good luck. You'll still have moments that are trials and tribulations. But I since he's weaker in Aries, I feel like unless he's out for blood, basically, I think you should be okay. In your 12th house, dang. How's that spiritual work been going? Yeah. You'll feel it more the closer he gets to that degree, whatever degree he's in your chart. But so far, yeah. As he gets closer, the challenges might ramp up, but you might have an easier time with it. UK does need new leadership. And like, if you ran the place, Nick, I would feel comfortable going to visit, and I've always wanted to go to the UK. I like the stars a lot, but my first love is the history of the English language. And I would love to go straight to the source. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. You know it's here, you know what to look for. If you do the research, if you haven't already, you can figure out like what specifically it might be challenging you with exactly, right? And then you can prepare as needed. Happy belated, Nick. What about yeah. Yes, Steph, we know about the US. But the way that I put it sometimes is that it feels like the US and the UK are like trying to see who can get crazy faster. I don't know. They've been having their own plights. Yeah, that's the one. You'll get some fear mongering about the Gemini and Uranus thing, because that is theoretically, per some charts' interpretations, the US's Uranus return. But I was reading somebody's take on the US having a different birth chart where it was more of a Capricorn, and apparently that fitted a lot better. But still unjust, it's worth being aware of, because July 4th, there is a conjunction between Mars and Uranus, and that might be something. Both betas, just different flavor. Yeah. One knows they're beta and the other's overcompensator. One knows and the other's in denial. There we go, that's it. But this, and the next, it's tough right now, but all of the star signs are pointing to something different coming down the way that will be ultimately good. It's just painful to get to. Very painful to get to. And then if it doesn't stick on the walls, then they just pick it up and smash it in. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Nick. There's a lot going on with that. But there's delay tactics. There's also just distractions and trying to make things an emergency situation so that they can lock down on people's rights even more for safety and so on and so forth. Part of it is, yes, a distraction, but I also, just think part of it is so that he can find his excuse to declare a national emergency. Finally have his power grab. All we can do is stay in our lane and focus our own happiness, or try to. And do what we can for other people too, right? Like, step in. This is a big focus on, like, with Pluto and Aquarius, there's a big focus on, like, doing what you need to for the greater good too, right? Like, yes, there's a big, heavy emphasis in Aries right now with the stellium, and that's, it's Aries is opposite Libra, and this is what I was saying earlier in the chart. Or earlier in the discussion, is like, there's got to be a balance between me and we, right? So the way to succumb to the shadow side of all of this Aries aspect, right? All of these Aries stellium, like the planets and stuff, is to get greedy, do the wrong thing for your own personal gain, etc., etc. And the way to channel it for the better is to strike the balance between Aries and Libra and do it all like the moon mission going around, for NASA and stuff, right? Like, that was a thing that a select few people participated in, but it benefited all of us theoretically, right? So we have to find our personal equivalent of that instead of our personal equivalent of picking fights with people who don't deserve it. And if enough of us choose to not pick the fight, or pick the fight to the people that do deserve it, right? I'm hoping that the change will be less painful than it necessarily is. Do not hate, do not put up to these speed me up. Story. I have a friend, Nick, you'll like this story. I have a friend, and she's a mortician. Hold up that Star and Justice card. Amen. I have a friend, and she is a mortician. And she also is in the goth scene too, Nick. And she went to go pick up somebody who had just passed. And the daughter of that person, and she was wearing just something, I think she was on call, so she was just wearing what she had already been wearing, and she'd been wearing a spider brooch. And the person, like the daughter of the person that she was picking up, was like, what did she say? She said something like, let me see what she said. I have the quote right here, actually. What did she tell her? One moment. I will pull up this conversation carefully without doxing myself. Yeah, okay. She said, this morning I picked up somebody from the hospital. Her daughter, through her tears, complimented my spider brooch and told me I was a goth baddie when she hugged me. So, no, it's not what you're wearing. It's what you do, right? And it's always been really, like, funny to me when I, like, am fully, like, gothed out and stuff. People, like, the right people tend to seem to trust me more, just because, I don't know, but, like, it generally has a very positive connotation. Hold up that Star and Justice card, though, just amen. Star, Justice, maybe a little bit of Temperance, but We're definitely breaking into something new. Something is dying. There's some people that do something. I don't understand it quite, but y'all can look into it more if you want to. There's somebody that pops up on my Instagram every now and again that's talking about, like, leaving some order that has been running things for the last 400 years, and that we are entering something called the Order of the Phoenix. And basically what he says this is implying is that the institutions as we know them are probably about to break down. And something new will rise up out of it, obviously. So, I don't know. I don't know much about that thing, so I don't know quite what to think about it, but that's kind of just been, like, sitting in the back of my brain. Y'all can look into it as much as you want to. Light the pink candles. Absolutely. Light the pink candles. Light a white candle. Do a cord cutting. Let go of things and keep doing what needs to be done. Even if other people don't know what the right thing to do is, you know, and you can be bigger than that. And not like bigger as in let them keep walking all over you, but bigger as in, like, you can take the right step, you know the right thing to do. You can stop the people who are, well, like, within your own power, right? Like, work towards stopping the people that are not currently being the bigger person. It's hard right now. And it's really discouraging. But it's a challenge. Take my kittens every evening for some kitten therapy. Make the flippin' coffee. Why are we doing kitten therapy and coffee? Like, I'm here for it, but, like, what? Part of transformation, yeah. The discomfort. You gotta turn into the goo before you can turn into the butterfly. We all gotta channel Miss Goo. We gotta be the goo. Do things need a reason? Things can just be. I mean, that's part of a lot of issues. Things haven't been allowed to just be for a long time, right? I love the cat, by the way. Ooh. Oh, him or this little Pomeranian? I'm working on a picture. These are the achievements. I've got a friend who's making a game with his wife. Oh, the cat avatar. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So the rabbit came from the Goodwill bins, and this little guy here also came from the Goodwill bins, and we found them within like 2 weeks of each other. And it just seemed like a sign that we needed both of them. We had brought Miss May home already. This is my little Lynn. He's just a buddy. He's a doorstop with extremely long legs. I don't think he's haunted the way that Miss May is, but we like stars, and he has stars for eyes. So he's just a little guy. Just a little guy here to hang out. Do need more friends. Yep. And the stuff that's happening now is very, very find community oriented. Little guy with very long legs. It's true. His legs are so long, and they're stringy versus the rest of them being full, so they just kind of dangle. Oh, Nick on the YouTube side said it is haunted. I don't think it is, but he can be chill. Maybe it's haunted with an actual cat who just wants to hang out. I don't know. Let me see if I can get him without knocking anything down. Let me see. Yeah. Oh. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right, Hokesters, you ready? So here's his body. Right, here's his body. All right, I need to patch up some of the stuff. He's seen better days. And then his legs are as long as his head. So they just keep going and going and going and going. And then he's got little feet. So they just kind of hang out. So. I like him a lot. It seemed very fortuitous when we found him in the bins right after we found Miss May. I went, oh, we found your counterpart, Lady Lapine. I found mine. So I get to be a little starry-eyed boy that looks up at the sky a lot. And then if you've seen my avatar on things, it's a watercolor that I did of him. I don't know if I changed it on Twitch. I think I did. Found the Void Cat, Nat 20. God, you want to talk about Nat 20? I have this pair of shoes that I found also from the thrift store, and they were half off, and they are incredible. And I found one. I spent 45 minutes looking for the other one. I finally gave up, and I went looking around the other stuff in the store. I was tired of it, but I kept the shoe in my cart. And I was like, I'll give it one more shot later after I've had a chance to calm down because I am getting angry. So we putter around the thrift store for like half an hour, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it one more chance. And if I can't find it within 5 minutes, I'm going to give up, and these shoes aren't meant for me. And we walk back over the shoes, and it turns out that the shoes had fallen in between the cracks, between the shoe racks. They were like back to back. So it had fallen in between the cracks on the shoe rack. And I happened to notice it within that 5-minute time frame. So I have some of the sickest pairs of shoes known to man because of that. And I got it for half off. They are very pointy Cuban heels with studs all over them. Anytime I wear them, people are like, I like your shoes. And I'm like, thanks. I had to look for like 2 hours to find them. Yeah, that sounds like, yep, that sounds right, Nick. That really does sound right for you. There was one time at my grandma's house, she used to have like a little add-on to her house that was like an extra room, but there was like a 3-inch step that led down into it. Like it was built just a little bit lower than the actual house was, and I would forget that step was there every single time. But sometimes, being a cat, I would get the zoomies and kind of run around the house at some point. And there was one day, I've only like really sprained my ankle once. But there was one, but I do roll my ankle every now and again. And that one day I had little cat zoomies, and I jumped off. I remember the stair was there, at least this time, instead of just crumbling to the floor. But I jumped off the little ledge, and I landed, and I rolled one ankle, and I tried to catch myself with the other ankle, and that rolled too, or that the other foot, and that ankle rolled too, and I just ended up like doing a barrel roll. And like, yeah, I fell down, but like it was a very well executed barrel roll. So it wasn't quite a nat 20, but I'd say it was still a high enough roll because I didn't twist anything. Everything was fine. And I didn't look cool, but it felt very satisfactory. Yeah, twisting the ankle. It's very... There's a certain, like, I believe, and this is something that you might be interested in looking up more on, Nick, is there's a certain something that folks with ADHD do where they, like, learn to overcompensate with their lack of balance by, like, twisting into weird positions or something. I don't know. I don't remember all of the details, but, like, you know, it's like a lack of spatial awareness, right? And you learn to, like, correct it automatically. So like if I'm walking and I forget to like gauge where the table is exactly, I just kind of like move my hip out of the way instead of like shifting my entire body. Apparently that's a thing that everybody does, but it is specific also to folks with ADHD to the extent at which we do it. So it actually gives us like a little bit weird extra balance just because we've learned to do those kinds of pivots. I don't know. Apparently very beneficial to things like dancers and such. But the ADHD walk, I'm incredibly balanced, but also wobbly. Exactly. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. I trip all the time, but I never fall down. Oh, if it applies to lefties, that's just that the world is not made for left-handed people. I always feel so bad for left-handed folks. Like, it's really cool. Huge perseverance, but you've been told you fall in slow motion. Yeah, I could see that. No, I trip. I lose my footing all of the time, but I 9 times out of 10 tend to catch it. It doesn't stop it from being any more pain in the butt, but you know, it's a neat party trick. And also just all the pivoting and being on a swivel. Oh yeah, people have a dominant foot too. I think it's generally opposite. I don't remember, but the test was pay attention to which foot that you're compelled to use when you put like your pants on or something. Trousers, excuse me. Like when you're getting dressed in the morning, that's a really good indicator of which foot is the dominant one for you. At least at the time that I heard it, the running theory, I think, was that the cross wiring of the brain made it so that you're right. If you're right-handed, you are tended to be left-footed, but this was 20 years ago by now, so the science may have changed. But yes, you do have a dominant foot. I don't do that, but well, maybe I do. I don't know. I don't pay attention to footedness, right? But I do weird things with my left hand, so I will eat soup or use a spoon with my left hand, which is just like table manners in some places, right? Like using not the knife in the left hand, but I also brush my teeth with my left hand. And I didn't realize that until I was in high school. And I had, yeah, for real. And I had, what was it? Oh, I was in my psych class and he was talking about handedness and stuff, but he was also like getting off topic. So he was like, have you ever tried brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand? It's crazy. And I went I got home and I went to the bathroom, and it just kind of was like eating away at me, the thought of it. And I like grabbed the brush with my left hand and I brushed my teeth, and it felt normal. And then I realized, oh, I brushed my teeth with my left hand. And I am fairly right-handed. I can do okay with my left hand, but yeah. But he was talking about how like weird it felt when you switched hands on which hand you brush your teeth, and I just realized then that no, I brush my teeth with my left hand and I'm right-handed. My trick, Nick, is that I think I could be cross-dominant if I worked on it. My trick is that I can't write going forwards with my left hand, but I can write backwards, like in reverse, like mirror writing. Or it does teach you to use the non-dominant hand. Yeah. That makes sense. So like if I was writing like something forwards, I could write something backwards with my left hand. Now it's not perfect because I don't really practice that party trick very often, but it's very easy for me relative to what I assume writing left-handed is for other people. Alrighty, gang. How are we feeling about the Achivo chart? I need to shade just a little bit on this little buddy here's stuff. Let's see if I can get this to work. Hang on. Heavy concentration. Mirroring makes sense. Yes. Let's see. It's this way. All of this would be kind of shaded off. I don't want it to be that shaded right now, though. Moment of truth. Ah, metal. Plus, the ambidextrous, but not quite practice. Usually autism for lefties, so I've built some pathways anyway. Very good, son. Thank you. Yeah, I still need to add a couple of little touches here and there. Like I need to add the shading here. I need to go back with the white highlight in different places throughout here. It's like right here up on the edge and stuff, and then such. And I want to get it done this week so that I can work on the other stuff. But today I need to finish a birth chart. But at this point, I'm like, how much of this do I need to sweat? Yeah, I'm really pleased with this set that I got. The thing that I've had to adjust to with these colors, though, are that what is it that happens? It goes on really dark and then it kind of dries out a little bit. Like, that's not a bad thing. It lets me see like what I've put where, right? But I have to like let it dry out to see how we're doing sometimes. Like, because what I get on the paper at first may not necessarily be the end result once it's dry, which is the case with watercolor, right? But it's to a much greater extent than what I'm used to. Oops, I forgot to color a friend. A little tribute to our buddy. Our cat's favorite toy. A little tribute to him. I'll have a purple middle when that's done. So if these were the achievements on a video game, that's just a dice rolling. It's like, he compares it to Yahtzee and something else. I don't remember the name. It starts with a B. Yeah, it's gone. But would you play it? Dice say yes. Shrimp check. I am definitely shrimping. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that at present. Bunko, maybe. Could be. It's like a dice. Okay, so the premise of the game is like it's a dice rolling game, and you like try to get the highest Yahtzee style roll with the same colors as possible, and you get like bonuses if the colors match, and then there's cards added to them. But it might be Bunko. I don't remember. I grew up playing Yahtzee. I didn't grow up playing the other one. But anyway, if these were your little achievos, would you want to play it? It's going to take me a while to get through all the art, and I think they're going to release it with some earmarks first, and then just add the art where I can, or where they can. But I'm permanently shrimping. That is my default state of being. I need to get better about that, but it's hard. Oh no, that's a lot of brown on the pink. No, get off. No. It might be Bunko. You don't remember. Here for the violence. Well, this is not a violent game, Nick, but it is cat versus dogs. Cats versus dogs. So you can imagine violence being waged between dice. Maybe the dice hitting each other. Perhaps that is violence enough for you. Perhaps. I know not. Okay. We are at time. Do we have any last dice roll silly questions you want to ask that I can't quite read, but we could pretend? Or anything about the stars? Throw dices at your opponent is not violence. What if you throw the dice in their eyes, Hogue? What if you steal their kitty kibble? What if you take their cards away? See? Throw the dice directly in your enemy's eyes. Here, I'll get this done. I've got some white that I need to go through with a pad and like do an actual test on that. I'll do that. I gotta get and then once that's done I can work on the okay, very good. The birth chart and then the cover page. Cover page and then what I can get rid of the rest of this before they want to release in a couple months. D-Force, Caltrip, not the weapons you wield. See? You got it, Nick. Dice-based ultra-violence. Let's go. Oh no, you're fine, hon. Don't worry about it. Not leaving me hanging. Okay, guys, if nobody's got any questions, we are at time. I need to get onto a couple of things. D20s, yeah, but the D4s are extra stabby stuff. That was the rationale. Am I channeling Emperor energy properly, or am I slacking a bit? Let's see what we got. Well, you got 4 4s straight off the bat. We have 4. I think you're doing okay. And remember to take breaks. Yeah, but D4 is 1 HP damage, sure, but D4 directly into the eye might have some extra secret HP. Like that might be a 20-year-old somewhere. Okie dokie, Sen. I think you're doing good for energy. Remember to take a break, especially at the beginning of the week, to get your thoughts in order, to get ready for the new moon. I will be around in the chat during streams this week. Our streams will be normal this week. Next week we will be taking off, I believe. I have a friend coming into town, so we're going to be occupied. But come see us tomorrow. See May on her art stream on Tuesday and Thursday. And I will see y'all later. Holler if you need me, either in the chat or on Discord. Would say stepping on a D4 is 1d4 damage. I think it's a few more damages than that. That hurts. That's like Lego. Alright, gang. I'll see you later.